man. This dude, I think Mexicans just love to hate him at this point.
Yeah, you know, I will say third time's the charm with Javier Aguirre. He looks very comfortable in the hot seat. And it seems like that's one of the things, you know, when it comes to a successful World Cup run. Obviously, you have to have the talent and you have to have the attitude, but it also helps tremendously having like the right coach. And it seems like, you know, he's taking on all the pressure from the media and you know the fans, and you know the way he addresses the press, he just looks very very comfortable. And you know, you mentioned it, like it's different, you know, having a World Cup in your own backyard. Like we're extremely comfortable, we haven't had to travel, you know, we've had our concentration camp in Mexico City. Like, you know, those things, like you got to take advantage of it, you know, because in other World Cups, like you're having to travel, you know, constantly to different venues. But you know, Mexico have secured the rest of their tenure here at in Mexico. All the games will be in Mexico City up until if they get past the round of 16. That's where they would actually have to start moving around. But you know, I think overall, like the training camp and the consensus is that Mexico's prepared for their next match. They're not going to underestimate Czechia, who needs to win. For me, I will like to see rotation, just for a couple reasons. You know, Brian has a yellow card. There'd be a risk of him missing out if he plays, and I think Aguirre has no intention of playing him tomorrow. As far as the goalkeeper position, you know, for me, you know, I said it in the last podcast, I wouldn't mind Ochoa to get, you know, a start and for him to get his flowers. But now really thinking about it, you know, Tala Rangel really hasn't been tested in these last two games. Obviously, he had an iconic save against South Korea, but you know, Czechia, they're tall boys. They're going to be trying to, you know, threaten us in the air, and this would be a really, really good test for Tala to contest those air balls, to work on his game, and then at the end, you know, if you have the game rifado, then you would maybe give Ochoa like, you know, 5-10 minutes at most. But you know, as far as like, hey, he deserves this, and you know, he's a you know, historian for the Mexican national team, a legend. Like nothing is guaranteed, bro. You know what I mean? Like we're not, you know, this isn't like UNICEF or Make a Wish kid. Like, you know, this is the World Cup, and you have to be competitive. And we've seen it time and time again in this World Cup that teams have underestimated their opponents. You know, you've seen Capo Verde do an incredible job holding it down. You've seen Ghana hold it down. Even right now with Colombia and Congo, like Congo have done a great job of holding it down against Colombia. So, you know, you can't underestimate any opponent, and you want to win every single match. We've had teams already packing their bags and eliminated from the World Cup. Tunisia being one of them, and crazy things happening in Tunisia. You know, they lost their opening game quite embarrassingly, and then they fired their coach immediately after the game against Sweden. They brought in another coach, and they got their shit pummeled against Japan. So they are gone. For me though, the biggest deception by far has been Turkey, especially considering the amount of possession they held and the players that they have. A big nothing burger. They're already eliminated as well. Haiti, obviously, not too many people had them going out of the group stage, but they've also been eliminated. And I believe Uzbekistan as well, after
In
today's
Panama.
result. Panama lost just now to Ghana. So we're already seeing teams eliminated.
No, wait. Didn't they play Croatia?
Panama plays. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, they played Croatia. Sorry.
Yeah, they won 0. I mean, these teams, you know, Panama fairly new to the World Cup. Still, they're still getting their feet wet. I mean, it's not bad. 1-0. These results, it's not like you're going there and you're getting destroyed. But this would benefits them. It took Mexico a long time to get their first W. Um, I think Egypt just got their first W or first goal. What was it? No,
Egypt.
they're celebrating something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they won. They beat New Zealand 3-1. They
So
look
the
good.
first, so yeah, the first World Cup win.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, I think it was, dude. And I think it was their very first win.
Yeah, I mean, some countries are celebrating their first goal or just debuting in the World Cup. So everyone's fighting for something, whether they got eliminated in the group stage. I think there's some
Here,
countries that are just happy to be there and have their own individual milestones that
here,
they're proud of.
here it is. Here it is. I mean, 92-year wait
Wow,
since they started playing at the World Cup.
it's crazy.
I mean, yeah, they missed a few, but they finally got a win with Mo Salad, and good for them, man.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Another deception for sure has been Belgium, unable to get any victories in the World Cup so far, and obviously controversial with Doku leaving to be present for his, child's birth. It struck a chord with certain pundits online. They were unable to beat Egypt in that opening game, and then the other day against Iran, they tied 0-0. So another team that's really disappointed. I think there was a lot of expectations for Belgium. But do you agree, Joel, like leaving in the middle of a World Cup to be at your child's birth? Like, I don't know, man. What do
So
you?
I would, but there's ways of doing this. I did, with my job, I did it. I let them know, and I said, I'm just gonna, you know, once he's born, because you get a due date, and
Yeah,
it doesn't always come at the due date. It could come early, weeks, sometimes a month,
right.
or it could come late. But yeah, you let them know. I would have left and come back. I would have came back though. I think this guy was like, nah, I'm out late. I don't blame him. I don't blame him, but I do feel that I don't know if he talked to the coaching staff and let them know, like, if this happens, I'm gonna leave. I know a lot of coaches are cool with that and they let you do that. So just what surprised me was that I think he's just not coming back. So yeah, that
He
was
saw the writing on the wall. He's like, "What? We didn't win our first two games. I'm just gonna
yeah. I'm
start
just
my
gonna
vacation early. Fuck this." Um,
I'm gonna save my flyer mile.
yeah, people take it with a grain of salt, but to me, him making that conscious choice of leaving the World Cup for this kind of shows that maybe things are not going so well for Belgium in their locker
I mean,
room.
it is his kid.
I
It's
understand, but
like
it's the World Cup, man. I feel like you know if you are so willing to walk away from it, then you should have given up your spot to someone that's a little bit more committed.
yeah, that's the other part. That he should have let them know. I don't know if he did, and the not coming back part also as well. Because you could go and be there a few hours and then fly right back. Because they could still get through to the next round.
Yeah, they still can. We had some of the players that we expected to come up in the World Cup start performing. Obviously, Messi, the story continues there. Continuing to score for Argentina. Austria made it extremely easy. But you also had Mbappe and Haaland score yesterday. And boy, man, watching these kids, I mean, Mbappe is a little bit older now, but he is that guy for France. I haven't seen a player put a team on his back since Zidane, and he's incredible for France. But Haaland, in his World Cup debut, he scored a couple goals. Then the other day or yesterday, he scored again twice. And that guy is just like a cheat code, like a human cheat code. Like if you get anything near him, he's like gonna score. So an absolute threat. People are saying Norway are the dark horse, but once you say that, they're not. They're no longer the dark horse. I think people kind of expected Norway to get out of the group. So, but definitely keep your eye on Norway as they progress out
well,
of the
well,
group
dark
stage.
horse in the sense that you're not favorites to win the World Cup, but you're strong enough to defeat one of the favorites.
I see.
Yeah, and then so then you can get out of the group stage, and then you can meet one of the favorites and knock them out.
Kind of like what Morocco
Uh,
did in 2022.
yeah, yeah, like that, man. That's the thing. Yeah, Mexico's not, but they could be lining up, man. I was, yeah, Mexico just likes the firepower, man. They haven't had it.
Second half in the Colombia Congo game has kicked off, and Colombia continue to show mercy. They should be up quite a few goals by now, but they continue to miss the mark. And I know it's going to come back to bite them. Congo, just happy to be there, trying to hold on to this result, maybe get an upset over here in Guadalajara. What a great venue. It's started raining right before halftime, but it looks like it's cleared up quite a bit. But what a beautiful venue Guadalajara has been. Um, I don't know, Joel, like out of the three in Mexico, which venue have you been impressed with the most?
Like stadium wise,
Yeah,
or
between Azteca, Monterrey, and El Estadio de Chivas, which one do you think has been the most impressive?
I don't know, cause I've seen them all the we see them through the league, so not not have really impressed me, to be honest.
What about from the
I'm
other
just used to
games,
see
like the maybe the stadiums in the U.S. or anyone that like surprised you in terms of turnout or in terms of the condition of the pitch?
the SoFi. I've been there, but seeing it from the TV, 'cause I don't really watch pointed ball or any other sport. So I think the
Pointy
SoFi,
ball.
man,
Yeah, yeah. SoFi has been,
makes me want to go catch a game there, man.
yeah. SoFi. I got to go there as a photographer a couple years ago, and I didn't really like get a chance to really like embrace it all. Once you're on the pitch, like you don't go up to like the where the stands are and get that iconic view of like the jumbotron and all that. But yeah, SoFi has looked really good in this World Cup. It's also covered, so it protects everyone from the elements. Why they decided to make the final in New Jersey is beyond me. I wish it could have been at least in California, like they did in the Rose Bowl in '94. Um, but yeah, I haven't really been impressed with the New York, New Jersey stadium. And as far as one that has surprised me, probably Kansas City, just because of how old it is. But there's been some great turnouts there. Um, as far as accessibility, I can't speak to that, but missed opportunity for Las Vegas not to host a World Cup game. One thing about yesterday's match, we had obviously entertainment with Argentina and France playing, Norway, but I hope no one slept on the Jordan Algeria game. What a match, and what a way to end the night over in Santa Clara. Great turnout there. And overall, had no expectations for neither side. But one thing that I mentioned in the chat was just how dynamic they all look and how fast they look compared to Mexico, especially Algeria, dude. Just like the transitions and both teams were going at it full 90. I thought that eventually they would have ran out of gas, but it was a great match for a neutral fan. And, it just, for me, reflecting on Mexico, like we just look so painfully slow. We can't try to do that kind of style of play. We're gonna have to try a different strategy. And I looked at England versus Ghana today, and I'm like, if we want to beat England, if we happen to meet them in the round of 16, I know it's not pretty, I know it's ugly, and I know people will be crying and kicking the floor, but if we want to beat England, we kind of have to play them the way Ghana did today.
I would just say, even though Mex might look slow, I don't think they're a slow team. Uh, I just think that's just
They have fast
the
players,
venue
don't get me
counts.
wrong, but they don't place fast. if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Like you watch how
but
Mexico
but
builds up their play, and it's bad. It's too predictable.
what they yeah, but I mean, when have you seen Mex get, they can't even touch the ball or they're getting cooked in the field. It's been very rare when you see a game like that where a team just completely dominated Mexico. You have to go to that Chile game and then past that, I'll probably think it was '95 against Brazil, and it was a killer Brazilian team. And it's very few times where Mex has gotten you know completely erased from the field. I think, and that's one thing that could take the ball from you and control the tempo. So a lot of these games, and then you end up chasing the ball, or the other team is dictating. And I think that's one thing Mexico has that they can slow the game down. So it's not necessarily
Hmm.
for me that they're slow, but that they can slow the game down.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just like the style of play that Mexico implement with Aguirre is you build out the back with no urgency, and they're super comfortable just doing a lot of lateral passing and being patient and waiting for an opening on the wing. We saw that happen all day against Korea. The Koreans were pressing high, they were raising their lines, and Mexico at a lot of times had to just laterally pass or backwards pass to Rangel and find another way. And then over time, they would kind of get frustrated and try to break lines and launch, a 50, yard pass. And it just wouldn't work out. We wouldn't win those aerial battles, and then it would go back to Korea. So,
But they were also playing defensive.
yeah, they were playing defensive. I just, you look at just, like I said earlier, styles make fights. It happens in boxing all the time. Uh, the way Jordan and Algeria played yesterday, it was just a breath of fresh air because they were both just full intensity, running at full speed. Not something that's I thought would be sustainable for 90 minutes, but Levi's Santa Clara yesterday wasn't too hot. It's not like you're playing the altitude of Mexico, so they were able to afford to do that. But with Mexico, I just haven't seen that kind of like dynamic or urgency or pace. Maybe because like the our opponents haven't allowed us to be that way. Look at South Africa; they were also very defensive, and then Korea. Don't even get me started on the Korea game. Maybe against Czechia tomorrow, we'll see something different. We'll see them open up a little bit more because they're the ones that have the need to win the match. So I mean, Mexico can just sit back and just wait for them to attack and then maybe counter them. I don't know if they're going to be the protagonists and try to just do what they always do, which is hold on to the ball and pass it around. We'll have to see how it goes tomorrow.
Well, with Czechia, they're the ones that have to go for the win.
Yeah,
They have to try to get points. So they're gonna be the pressure's on them. I feel they're probably gonna start out pretty aggressive, at least the first 10, 15 minutes, and then back off. But I think if they open up to attack, and I think that's gonna make Mexico's gonna look better just because Mexico's more comfortable with that style of play.
I don't know if Rifado's ready to speak up, but welcome Rifado to the show.
Good evening, guys. Hopefully, my audio doesn't sound too bad, but I just wanted to chime in. I wanted to piggyback.
Yep, yeah, you sound good, except you went on mute.
What?
There you go.
So I wanted to piggyback off Joel. What's it called? He was saying that Czech is probably going to hit us hard with pressure the first 15 minutes, and I think that he's 100% correct. And then after they get tired, we're going to start building our play, and then I think we're going to be in for a treat.
Well, that's the beauty of a second altitude, man. It's hard if you want to maintain this rhythm, this tempo at a high. You're not gonna do it. These teams that look fast and then they go play there and they're struggling for air.
It's a different
So
beast.
I think that yeah, that's why it's been such a for Mexico it was such such a fort for them, such a place where they've only have two official losses since I think the stadium went. I think they started playing like in the 70s, maybe using that for qualifying. So yeah, like in 50 years,
It's been an
uh,
impenetrable fortress, and
yeah, two losses, and that's it's two. Well, it was against Honduras and Costa Rica, both in World Cup qualifying. But I think that's so
which is,
ridiculous. But
when you talk about there's really nothing to play for tomorrow except for pride, I also think it's very important to keep that history going, right? Make it impenetrable.
no, that there's nothing to play. I don't know if people are saying that. They'd be way off if they're saying there's nothing to play for.
Well,
I mean,
we already got our secured our round of 32. We already won the
yeah,
group.
but we've been talking about Mexico's overall World Cup record, and they're building on it. They're making it more positive. If they get that 3 wins, like I said, they've only gotten 3 wins once in all their World Cup history, 1986. That's it. They've never been able to get 3 wins. They could potentially have four, you know,
You
four
know, I was
wins. And
listening. I was listening to Vasco's press conference this morning, and he said that he wasn't at all satisfied with the first two games, and he's not going to hold back at all.
Mhm.
Right? That's what he said. But his actions, I think the actions look a little bit different with all these rumors of Ochoa, Orbelin speaking at the press conference today, Vega speaking at the press conference. I feel like that sends a message. I said in the last pod that Soycliffe or that John Soycliffe,
Mhm.
I don't, I can never say his name.
Sutcliffe,
Sutcliffe.
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 Yeah.
Such a weird name for a Mexican. But he said that Ochoa was going to start and Santi was going to start. And then this morning we have Vega and Orbelin speaking at the press conference or like to the press. I think we're going to see a very different starting 11. So in the press conference, he's saying he's not holding back. He's looking to like get the team playing how he wants to play them, and he hasn't been satisfied. But then we kind of see like these players, these fringe players, get the spotlight, and I think that's going to herald them starting tomorrow. So kind of contradicts what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching the press conference, and he did a good job of kind of like avoiding the big questions and kind of keeping it chill. And he says he hasn't even told the starting players that they're starting tomorrow, so he's gonna really hold his cards close to the vest tomorrow. And I don't agree with like giving Ochoa the start. I still want Talavera to get that confidence and that consistency and that momentum that's going so well for him, and have him be tested with a team that's taller, that's going to try to threaten us on the aerial attack and corner kicks and all that. So there's still plenty for Tala to do tomorrow, and if again we secure a comfortable lead, then I'm totally fine with allowing Ochoa his flowers and getting him a proper send off. But yeah, there's still a lot to play for tomorrow. One thing I want to talk about, with England, again, we saw them play against Croatia. They beat them 4-2. It was an entertaining match. And then today, again, they weren't able to do much against Ghana. And, I look at those two opponents and I'm like, those are the two exact ways it could go with Mexico if we get that far. We play for the glory. We try to go two por two, and we end up getting exposed like Croatia, or we play haram ball and tough out a 0-0 draw, maybe be a little bit more offensive than Ghana was today, and then get the game into extra time and win in PKs. I think honestly those are the best strategies against England, because if we try to go two for two, we're not going to do it against England. They're going to expose us pretty bad.
That River, I was going to chime in. Uh,
I was waiting.
I, I, no, I don't think Mexico's going to do two por two, man. I just, especially with the bigger teams. I mean, this just the way the team has come about. It's not a team that has been worked on for a long time with the same coach. It's a team that was still getting put together up until probably weeks before the World Cup started. So it's they're not there. But the good thing about this squad is that they had a solid foundation going into the next cycle. So this is going to be a pretty good team. And if there's that Copa America, it's a good team, man. For the next World Cup, should have an exciting squad if the FMF lets Marquez work. You know, the rumors already started like 2 months back that they're trying to boot him. Um, we're our own worst enemies. So I don't think there'll be none of that like two por two. I do think it's gonna be very defensive. I don't know if Haramba, which mean like just ultra defensive, parking the bus.
Yep.
I don't think that. I don't think there'll be that defensive. I do think they try to control the game. They don't take that many risks, just because of their deficiencies. So I see Mex as like they has the potential because they have the players that if they light up, they could really cause some. They could really they could really put you know they could really get some results in there. And we've been having other players that probably people weren't expecting as much, like Lida and Piojo, but we still have other players that if like Santi, even Alexis was big incognito, man. He's he's so there's a few in there that they just need the on button, man, for Mexico to achieve more.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at like Santi, Raul, Raul. The chances he's let go to waste, and he's had some great chances thus far. I'm really hoping that one of these guys catches fire. Hormiga, who's been in a slump, and we talk about Jovenazo and like his bright future, but the fact of the matter is Hormiga has been on a long slump.
Hmm.
For Chivas, and that's how he ended it. Unfortunate. I wish he came in hot like he started at the beginning of the year, but that's not the case. So we are waiting on on a bunch of these guys to catch fire. Orbelin, I feel like I've been waiting 10 years for this guy to get good for the selección. He's been great for Chivas, Cruz Azul, but for the selección, I can't remember too many memorable moments by him.
Well, yeah, even Alexis, man. We want that Toluca Alexis. But he's with Chivas and the selección. He turns to shit, man. We we want the Toluca version of him. Where's that,
He's
bro? Just give him a red shirt, dude.
the fact of the matter is he's not hitting the numbers that he was hitting during the first campeonato for Los Diablos. He's not hitting anywhere that stride. He was in such a rich vein, and it's nowhere to be found now.
Yeah,
He's on one leg. I don't know why
yeah.
Russell called him up.
Well, I think that's the hope, that same with Santi. Some players that could have easily been left out because they're not, I would say, match fit, or performing at the level we know they can perform. But then it's like, well, who else is there to choose from? And it's literally not much, you know.
And that's the difference between us and the grandes or the serious players. I think I think we're gonna have to, I don't know, look for a different route, like just an astounding team effort for us to like really beat someone with outstanding quality, someone like England, like Jaime was mentioning, and he mentioned the Ghana route. And I'm kind of amazed by Ghana because that Panama Ghana match was the worst match I had ever seen. We're talking about the dregs of CONCACAF level. That's the sort of shit that I saw. I was like,
Well,
oh man,
see,
let's change the
well,
channel.
keep that in mind for when there's World Cup qualifying and you see Mexico over there picando piedra, dude. Know that hey, it's not just Mex, dude. It's because
Hey,
you're
and the
gonna
Black
see it,
Stars,
man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing the light now. The Black Stars today, they shut down the English,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
they did need a little bit of luck. They played haram ball, like I guess that's what we're calling it now, bunker ball, and it
yeah,
worked out for them. And Mexico's gonna have to go that route. But the thing
yeah,
is that
and in their stadium and impact. You know what I mean?
yeah, but we're not used to
When
doing that because we're the gigantes of CONCACAF.
Hmm.
We
no,
play as
no,
the
I know.
protagonists more often than
Well,
not.
they are, but Mexico are, but they've always they don't like walk through qualifying. They've done it a few times, but it's not a given that they're gonna just,
But
you
what is
know,
it given almost every time is possession, and like only like recently have we started seeing it, like against South Korea, like against one of the games against Canada, like that's a new development that Vasco's been working on, but that's not something that we usually do. We usually have possession and we
yeah,
don't do shit with it.
yeah, it's
We
more
don't
comfortable.
penetrate.
Yeah, like Mexico's more comfortable with the ball, even if they don't do shit. But
Exactly.
Yeah, like I said,
but that's good.
aside from the opening game today with Portugal, everything else was a snooze fest. Um, there was supposedly a witch doctor that cursed Harry Kane, and
Oh, bro, I seen him.
I you know
The
I don't,
guy that blows with the white smoke.
yeah, dude, I mean, Kane, man, he didn't have his shooting boots today. He had one that he tried to shoot with the left, and it looked like a field goal. I know they played over there in Gillette Field where they're used to seeing field goals, but that was a really poor finish. And England are lucky that the referee looked the other way on a breakaway. Should have been a PK, and in the end, a 0-0 for them. And then yeah, the Panama Croatia game was like pulling teeth, bro. It was.
And with that guy, with that, the witch doctor was working his magic in the first match too, right?
I
Because
feel
this
bad
is
for
the
Panama.
second.
Yeah.
They look good. They look good. They spotted out with Croatia, and that's the subcampeon.
Hmm.
Maybe last time round or the time before that, I forget when,
2018.
but yeah,
18.
they're really good, right? And Panama competed with them. It was hard for Croatia,
Yeah,
and then they lost to Ghana in the last moment. And so it's tough, dude. Like
Hmm.
I don't think the results tell like the true story of those two matches.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, they've been a team on the rise, and I think they can be proud of their team. I know it sucks to go off like that, but they're still a small. I
No,
know,
no
I
Carasquilla.
know
Yeah.
they don't have what is it? Their league is what semi-pro at best.
But
Yeah.
they have an easy time jumping to Colombia and Mexico.
Hmm.
Yeah, but you
So
want to have your own league. Ultimately, you wanna have your own league,
They want to
which means you
aspire to
have
be like Costa Rica eventually. I feel like the Costa Rican league's a
well,
little bit more respectable.
yeah, yeah. Just imagine, having your league or like a professional league that could be up to 300 players that are active, as opposed to like X amount scattered through all these leagues.
Well, they produce really good baseball players. One of my favorite closers in the game, Mariano Rivera, is Panamanian. So for them to get into this World Cup was, uh, you know, I guess another milestone for them. Obviously, it wasn't their first World Cup ever, but to see them consistently return is also good. And
Yeah,
I'm watching this Colombia Congo game, and dude, it's still 0-0, 73rd minute. I feel like Colombia's gonna be shooting themselves in the foot if they aren't able to put away a goal and allow Congo to tie them.
I mean they're not easy rivals though, man. These African teams have been pretty tough for a long time now. They just like consistency, for this madre over there. But they should have been they should have been challenging for the World Cup. Everybody thought it was gonna happen. You had that Nigerian team. They wins the Olympics. I think it's '96 Atlanta, and then they have that great start at the '98 World Cup. They beat Spain, and then they sort of just like it just fell apart. Um, it went to their head, according to Bora. I know. But I mean that was a very talented team. We could have aspired for more. And then the Ghana team also. In the 2000s, early mid 2000s, they had a really really strong Ghana team. And you had even before teams like I think Cameroon beats Argentina if I'm not mistaken. In Argentina in '90 World Cup, Nigeria was defending champion. and they fucking beat them. Um, so I mean, they've had strong teams. They're just unable to like what is it to remain consistent.
You
What
know
was I
that
saying about what
that Ghana
happened?
team was great with what was his name,
Oh
Prince Boateng. Oh, that Ghana
yeah,
team was good, man.
there you
Good,
go,
yeah.
man.
And
Yeah, no
right now
six. I think
I think
yeah.
Senegal is so good, man. And it's just like they lost I think 3-1 to France, and then I think they lost to Denmark, right? Like, but they were in it, bro. And I'm just like, damn. And this could be a third place team.
Well, it
Um,
was in '02, right? In '02 that they beat France, and France was defending champions. Oh shit, Colombia just
Oh, Colombia just scored
yeah
1-0.
defended too. Shit, total football.
It looks like they finally broke through that Congo defense. And Congo, looking at their chances of getting into the next round, are starting to disintegrate. They held their own against Portugal 1-1. So, they're not eliminated just yet. They'll play against Uzbekistan in the final game.
Oh, that's a good opponent to face. Did shit when Colombia plays Portugal?
Yeah, that's going to be
That's,
an awesome
yeah,
game.
yeah.
so who do you guys think is gonna win it, man? Who's looking like the real deal?
I still say there's still like four candidates, four or five. It's
Really?
still, I think any of those could win it. Yeah, yeah. I think France is one of the main candidates, as is Argentina, and I think the Netherlands and England have shown they can, you know,
For
and they have what it takes to win. England's won it before, Netherlands haven't, but they've been to three finals. Um, and then you have Spain, bit of incognito, but still, just because they haven't played to that level, but
they're the Euro
uh,
champ.
they're the Euro champ. Yeah, that's the other one with Spain. The thing is, at the World Cup, they've never been that good. I know they won back in
2010.
what's it 2010,
Mm-hmm.
but their overall record,
El,
man,
el Waka
it's just
Waka.
doesn't compare to some of these other guys like Germany or Brazil, which is crazy because to me, they're not that much as favorites.
To answer your question, Rifado, I'll have my definitive answer once everybody completes their second game. But I will say that Argentina, this is their World Cup to lose, and it's not even because they're good. It's just because of how helpful the refereeing has been. And yeah, I mean, it's blatantly obvious that they're getting a little bit help.
Yeah,
And
that one goalie, that German goalie called him out. What's his name? Schmichel?
Schmeichel,
You-
he's
Schmeichel. There you go.
he's not German. I think
Dutch.
he's no, he's Danish, I believe.
Oh, I see. I see. I remember he was a famous. I think he was for Bayern. No, what was he for?
Schmeichel was a goalkeeper for Manchester United, and
Oh, I
also
see. I see.
and then his son is also a goalkeeper. So yeah, he played for Denmark.
And he was saying like one of the goals should straight up not have counted. It was a
Hmm.
foul, and it's like embarrassing that it didn't get called.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you really think about it, Messi had a free game today. He should have gotten red carded in the opening match. And then that second goal against Austria comes off of a foul. So yeah, it's just really shameful that Argentina are gonna pull away with yet another deep run. I mean, even if you look at their road to the final, it's pretty accessible. I don't think they face a worthy opponent until I want to say like semifinals. So yeah, Argentina, I expect them to go on a deep run and try to defend their title. I'm still waiting for Spain, to go up another notch. Obviously they had a shocking first result against Cabo Verde. They got a better result against Saudi Arabia. And I'm like, okay, that's the Spain that I kind of expected to go through this whole tournament. So, I expect them to go up another level. Germany, I mean, they almost weren't able to get that victory. They got lucky. Um, so I feel like your usual suspects haven't really dominated the way I expect them to.
You know, you did make
That
a
was
good
a
point.
golazo, man. That was nice. I don't know if you guys are behind a few seconds. And
It
there's
was offside. It
oh,
was offside.
and it's off.
Yeah, Luis Diaz
Like
tried
it's
to.
like, damn.
Luis Diaz put one
That's a good
away.
player.
Damn.
You,
I'm
you, you
removing
know,
you from my Panini book.
the thing is though is that Jaime is right that we haven't even seen everyone play their second match. You know, and what's it called? So we still need to see that. But Portugal was slow in the first one, but the second one they looked really good. Spain, same thing. France been consistent, but not too flashy. You know, Argentina Argentina's been getting favorable calls, and aside from that, like they've been dominating, right? You know, Messi's been getting all these goals at 39 years old, which is crazy. But another player that looks good, Japan,
Hmm.
Japan and Netherlands, but we still haven't seen those two face off. Uh, so
Yeah.
we still got to see that, and,
Well,
and and then I'll know if
they tied
Japan's the
two
real
two. No,
deal or not.
Japan and Netherlands. They
Oh,
tied.
did they?
Yeah, they tied. They
Oh,
tied
they
2-2.
did. Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
it's Japan and Sweden that we have to see, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the one. Okay, so that's when I'll like if Japan can get past Sweden, then I'll believe they're the real deal.
Sweden has been quite a fucking roller coaster. Win their opening match 5-1, and then their next game they lose 5-1. It's insane.
We talked about that, and it didn't seem like a 5-1. So I've been saying that a lot about these games, man. The score is a lot closer than I mean, the game is a lot closer than the score
Yeah.
indicates, and that match was for sure because I thought like it was 3-1, and I thought Sweden was still in it, and they were unlucky not to equal, like not to
Hmm.
score one or equalize even, because they were giving it to the Dutch, and then I don't know, from out of nowhere, man, they just creep back in, and then 1-2, and then
Yeah.
before you know it, it's five. And that's how crazy this game is. Like on a dime, dude, you're fucking down 3 goals, and that's what I'm afraid of for Mexico. Just some collapse, like a seven
I
zero against Chile.
You know, I'm waiting for Mexico to really wake up in this World Cup and have one of those moments that all these other countries have had. You've seen some crazy score lines. You saw USA beat Paraguay 4-1. Like, you saw obviously Portugal win 5-0 today. I'm waiting for Mexico to have one of those games in this World Cup, and maybe it happens tomorrow, and I think we can all just finally like take a deep breath and say, okay, this team is full of goals, because that's my biggest concern. Is I know that we've shown we can go defensively and contain teams. I mean, we haven't conceded a goal yet, but where are our goals going to come from? And I think against Czechia, like we really, really need to run up the count. We need to have one of those matches where we go 4-5-0, and just to show the rest of the world that we are a threat. You know, we're not just here like getting lucky. Like you should definitely consider us a threat in the later stages. And hopefully that happens tomorrow. As far as
I would.
who I think won't win, I don't think England have it in them to win a World Cup. I know everyone's been talking about Portugal, but I don't think Portugal will win either. Um, France, yeah, France look good. I'll give them that. Uruguay, what a deception they've been. Um, yeah, Marcelo Bielsa, bro, fucking fraud.
Well, not completely. I mean, he's because he did revive Chile. So I'm thinking the expectation was more along the lines of he could do that to Uruguay, and he just was not able to do it. But throughout his career, he hasn't really been a coach that wins a lot. He's more along the lines of he'll discover some talent and he'll get you playing like an elite team. because that's how some of his teams look. They look like world beaters, man. Uh, but then he seems to have like a 2 year,
It
two
seems
3 year sell by date, and then after that, everything just goes
I feel
downhill.
like he's more of
Uh,
a infrastructure type of person than he is actually like managing the team. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like he's
but
the
he's done good with some of the teams. I'm just saying his longevity is where he's never stayed really long at a place because this other Bilbao team was played really good, and they played finals. Chile again, that's a team that played really well. I don't know if they won with him. I think no, it was with the other coach, right? The other RG that came after him when they win the Copa Americas.
but Joel,
Um,
the like when his time in Liga MX, right? He was at Atlas, and he wasn't brought in as a head coach. He was brought in to scout, right? And then
yeah,
they eventually asked him
but to
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 coach, but he didn't
to
want
set
to.
up their system, to set up their youth to like redo their youth system, their
Mm-hmm.
youth development. He was like, yeah, he coached the second. He was there like 2 years. So the first year he did like a lot of the infrastructure, and then the second year he coached, and then he left. Yeah, he was
It seemed
gone
like
with the wind.
he enjoyed doing one job more than the other, and I think with being a head coach, as soon as you are given the opportunity, that's when you're on a ticking time bomb. And I think about like Pumas's coach Liini, how he was a great scout and then was asked to coach the team and did okay, but then now he's part of he's in charge of the whole scouting for the Mexican national team, and I think he's way more comfortable being in that role where you're not having to worry about your neck every weekend and week out and all that pressure. He's kind of just focused on
Oh yeah,
finding the next crop of players, and I think like
but
Biesla is that way too.
but I mean that's it. I have to push back because look at Bielsa again, Bilbao, Chile, and what's it, Leicester? What was it, the English team?
He did really well at
And
Leeds United.
and then even at France, and those fans loved him, dude. That's the thing. But the thing is that he seems to have a 2 year expiration date. So you bring him, you give him a 2 year contract, and then you just don't renew. Things are just gonna go bad. Uh, I would have been interested to see if he would have done something like Sir Alex, where he was 10 plus years in one club. Uh, but I don't think he's built for that.
Yeah, Uruguay has been incredibly disappointing to watch, and I hope they get bounced out. A lot of the Comebol teams have been underwhelming. You talk about Ecuador as well, unable to get a victory. Colombia looks like they're going to try to hold on to the result. It's 1-0, 88th minute. But yeah, Comebol, they talk a big game, how it's the hardest federation to qualify to the World Cup for. And then, so far in the World Cup, they've been underwhelming quite a bit.
Well, used to be. They got more tickets now.
Yeah.
They, there's there's more tickets now. They got more breathing room now. It's not as tough.
I'm trying to
And I
avoid.
think they
Go ahead.
no, I'm saying that. I think they realize that, and it's a big reason they want to boost the Copa America as well. I mean, obviously the money's there, but you also want the competition from these other teams, because they're basically playing each other all the time. So you want to diversify a little right there.
Hmm.
And when Europe did those League of Nations or whatever they're called, League of, it kind of like took a shit on a lot of the amistosos, and now other regions started doing the same thing. But then it's again, you're just playing, you're playing your own confederation. So you need, it's always good to have these matches against these other teams, and the different styles, or just teams that you're not familiar with.
Yeah, no, it's been an eye opener for me for sure, especially for like the Congos of the world, the Cabo Verdes. They've been really doing a really good job of
Oh yeah,
putting
yeah,
some respect. I mean, and also like the teams from the Middle East, you know, like Jordan, they've been doing well. Um, you know, so you know Qatar even was able to hold on to a draw against Switzerland, which was shocking over there at
yeah.
Levi's.
Well, I saw it coming. That's what I was saying before the World Cup that this World Cup was going to kind of present that a bit of a change in, in what we're used to seeing. Even though it's been happening slowly, Italy, for example, hasn't been able to qualify.
Hmm.
Germany, the last two World Cups, couldn't get out of the group stage. So we've been seeing things like that. And but I mean, just the globalization of the game. A lot of these players are playing in the same leagues, or they have the same access to the same type of training and coaching. You know, because there's a lot of coaches. You don't have to be super well known. We had Benayes, right? He was one of the Barcelona. He was one of the coaches in La Masia, right? I think he would take credit for Xavi. You know, he was probably just his Uber driver, but he came to Chivas. I don't know if you remember. He was at Chivas for a while, and then they booted him around. But he ended up in the Caribbean, like in Puerto Rico somewhere.
The hell?
This is a, yeah, so this is a dude that had that experience of being at the time, you know, the best youth academy, and he's playing us straight over there. So there's a bunch of other players like that. Um, we had what was it, a couple World Cups like you. We've had some of these Dutch. Who was it? Was it Ben Hacker that was with some Caribbean team or some African team? So, but I mean, you kind of seeing that. You're seeing some of these coaches that before probably would not have gone abroad, going abroad. And it's not just main coaches, you know, it's, it's just anyone that got like their UEFA license or that they worked in these clubs and got let go for whatever reason. And then they go back and everything they learned, you know, and it's all the same. So, and with the game being more athletic, you know, you kind of have like what is it called, like a factory churning out the same type of players, and now they're going at it and they're just canceling each other out.
We have Abdias joining us. Welcome, Abdias.
Buenas, buenas putos, ¿cómo andamos?
Doing okay. You know, aside from the opening game today with Portugal, it's been a pretty snooze fest with you know, England and Ghana, Croatia and Panama, and then this current match between Colombia and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
See, you say snooze fest, yet I find this mudslinging to be fucking interesting. You mean to tell me that you had Dr. Congo? Because let's not forget, it's a doctor. It's
Is he?
DR Congo.
Oh,
So are you telling me that you had Dr. Congo going up against Colombia and scrapping it out this way? Granted, it's haram ball and all of these things, but no mames way. It's just like the Nigeria game last night.
no,
Putazos all
that
around.
game was great. I was properly entertained by that one. Both teams were going full pace.
Exactly. And like the thing is, it's these games that you didn't expect anything of that are giving you a lot more to feast upon.
I expected Colombia to put away their chances. I mean, this game shouldn't be 1-0. It should be 4-5-0. They just haven't had their shooting boots on today.
Yeah, exactly. Like honestly, this game should have ended the same way that the Portugal did today.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, was that a 5 at the end?
5.
5-0.
El Bicho with 2.
Y nadie está hablando de no, mira, que he's fucking washed, que quién sabe qué.
Oh, dude, I texted my Portuguese friend when I saw the lineup. I'm like, why are you starting him? And then obviously he ends up scoring. And I look like an idiot.
Oh no, trust me, because I was explaining to the casuals at work today about, well, not even the casuals, man, the fucking Americans today at work, as to why it is that Cristiano has all this pressure and all of this. And they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, pinches gringos, way. How I wish I was as like ignorantly bliss as you guys.
Yeah, man. There's no World Cup fever here in corporate America. Everyone's just talking about the U.S. Open and golf and shit, baseball.
Wait, on over the weekend, I went out for dinner with my family, right? Because it's Father's Day weekend, all this bullshit. And you know what they had on fucking TV? The U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And there's fucking people watching it. I was like, que chingas traen pendejos.
Shove that club up your ass, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bro, I swear to God, I felt like that fucking commercial from Telemundo just banging on the bar going, Telemundo.
Yeah.
Telemundo. But, when you live around white people, you have to assimilate. So, a mamarla puto y a ver la pinche US Open during Father's Day dinner.
I would have gotten up and took the remote off someone. Yeah.
It was bad, bro, because even then, I talked to him, I was like, yo, can you put on Telemundo? Can you put on, like, FS1? You know what these pendejos put? Fox Soccer Plus.
Oh, shit.
And first off, they didn't even have the fucking channel. And second off, they definitely weren't airing it on there.
No.
And so, los pinches gringos no saben qué pedo, güey. Pero on the same page, good. Because you know who has saved the soul of this World Cup? Mexico. And I don't know if we've talked about it, pero güey, me está dando miedo, güey. Por 2 partidos, México anda de que se quema. Ahora, imagínate que ganamos mañana and that we do a deep run into the World Cup. No mames, güey. Like, if we thought that Argentina was bad when they won the World Cup, I'm afraid of Mexico. Like, I don't know. But one thing that I will say, and that makes me really, really proud of being Mexican, is the fact that this entire euphoria has swept over all of Mexico. And you know what? There has been a massive decrease in violent crime across all of Mexico.
Yeah,
on the days,
all the Mexican girls are whoring out, bro. They're just over there hooking up with anybody.
But they're hooking up with the foreigners, way. They're not hooking up with the fucking malandrines.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Moro Prieto doesn't get a nothing, bro.
So, okay, were you telling me that they're just cucking it and they're happy with it? And that's why there's zero crime?
I'm just like, there's videos of the chicks hooking up with freaking dudes, but where's the Mexican dudes hooking up with the foreigners? The K-pop stars and the
that one trabuco that we've all seen the video of.
Oh God,
that thing looks Brazilian, bro. I don't think it's Mexican. So at least somebody out
some more
there
hybrids.
está metiendo pipa.
We have Colombia here in Guadalajara and Ciudad de Mexico. You know, we had the K-pop stars over there. Like, dude, missed opportunities, man.
Wait, no te preocupes, güey. Nuestras madres luchonas are on the case for it. All right? They're out there. They're, dude, opening that thing and spreading it around. Y luego, en 9 months, güey, va a haber un chingo de mamás solteras. Pero Lilini, güey, si lo dejamos trabajar y le damos tiempo, no mames, güey, lo que se puede hacer. Especialmente, que no se les olvide, pendejos. En México todavía tenemos el servicio militar, que significa que cada persona nacida durante este año va en un puto libro. Entonces, el gobierno tiene récords de cuánta gente nace cada año, quiénes son los padres y quiénes son las madres. Y cada 18 años los revisan para ver quiénes son los que se están inscribiendo al servicio militar. Porque no sé si ustedes lo tienen o no, pero yo sí tengo mi tarjeta militar de México. Yo hice mi servicio.
Real quick, official final score, Colombia 1, Dr. Congo 0.
Dr. Congo deserves more, man. They've been doing that dirty work. I enjoy it, especially the fact that their number one supporter is was finally allowed back into the like made it to Mexico and was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, really quickly, you know what, guys? I know that we're always here and that I'm one of the biggest Chivas haters, and I'm always here to sling mud, and most of all, I'm always here for a good time. But the most important thing is that I'm here to give their flowers where flowers are due. Now, as I said, I work with a bunch of white people. I'm having to explain to them this whole World Cup thing and all of that. But you know what's the one thing that I've been told time and time again?
Mm.
Hey, man, that Guadalajara Stadium, it's really nice. It looks good and all of these things. So, ¿saben qué, cabrones? Congratulations on the world stage, on los pendejos que no saben nada. You guys are putting through a good face, not just for Mexico, but for the country.
Yes, sir. It's been an absolute joy to see El Estadio de Chivas in all its 4K glory. Something that I wish it's gonna be a hard adjustment going back to Liga MX with that shitty broadcast.
It,
Once this World Cup wraps up.
the stadium just looks like a toilet bowl. Once they do that bird's eye view,
It's a great
it
toilet
looks
bowl.
it looks like a toilet bowl for me, man.
I know, but it's cool.
And I was explaining that to him. I was like, you're saying all of these things, but within Mexico, we just know it as the toilet bowl. And he was like, what? And then I explained it to him, and I explained to him the story of the fact that it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So therefore, when they do the aerial shot, it's just this fucking giant toilet bowl in the middle of the desert.
It's nice though. I like it
I
more
think
than
it was.
the. I like it
I
more
think
than the what's the bedpan from
the
Monterrey.
bedpan.
No mames, güey. El
That looks like
BBVA?
that looks like a bedpan, dude.
Nah. I don't know. BBVA looks way better.
Nah, dude. It looks like that thing when you're at the hospital and you got to use the bedpan and it's like made out of metal. That's what El Estadio de Monterrey looks like.
Look,
I think
I'm not saying you're wrong, pero también, güey, no mames.
It just has the benefit of having an awesome fucking volcano in the background, but lipstick on a pig.
No mames, güey. They're not volcanic. All right, it's puto Monterrey. It's just hot as shit by natural.
And people complain about how hot that fucking place gets too. It's like an oven.
Bro, it gets wicked hot. The metal on the outside and the sun beating down on it. Y
Exactly.
el otro pedo, güey, is the fact that you're right at the foot of the fucking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you don't have much airflow coming through.
Yep.
It gets hot. All right,
I had read an interview with the dude that designed the Chivas Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It was years ago, man, and I think the concept was like a spaceship hovering over a mountain,
Well, yeah, it was the
or like
Omni
a
Life.
volcano.
Espérate,
And
espérate, ¿qué, güey?
I'm-
¿Fue Jaime Maussan quien lo diseñó o qué pedo?
it was some French guy, but probably
I
listened
thought it
to
was
one
a
too many
Dutch.
Masan.
I thought it was
Yeah,
a,
güey,
I-
Maussan. Mausen.
But I still think they could fix it. They bring some Disney engineers and have that look more like a mountain, and then the roof just shape it a bit so that it doesn't look like that. And then they could it'll look proper, at least from the outside. So I never liked that. It looks pretty generic, just the way it is, the greenery.
Now, here's the deal, man. Given, this new international exposure that El Estadio Guadalajara is having, this esta cara que está dando para México y para el Mundial, ¿verdad? If anything, I believe that Akron, or at least Estadio Guadalajara, should carry the tagline of El Nuevo Azteca. Not just because Mexico made it into a fortress, not just because, it honestly, the fan base represents Mexico really fucking well because it's not just, Los Hijos de Papi and all of this, but rather the stadium should be named El Nuevo Azteca due to the number of sacrifices that have taken place in the immediate surrounding areas around El Acron. Porque no mames, güey. ¿Cuántos sacrificios, cuánta sangre y cuántos espíritus hay alrededor de ese pinche estadio? Nos tiene que dar una pinche ventaja de alguna manera.
Yeah.
Well, they were using that name, Templo Mayor, for the
Pero
Chivas Stadium.
it looks nice, man. Now, what I will say is I haven't seen what Akron looks like inside when they do their halftime show. Pero wait, los japoneses took videos of what the BBVA looks during halftime. Y no mames, güey, se ve con madre. Like neta, neta, se ve con madre. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but during halftime, they do these aerial shots of the stadium, and there seems to be light glistening through the exterior panels, right? Different colors, full array of colors, the RBG. Entonces, lo que pasa es on the inside, están teniendo un pinche show de luces todavía más mamalón, güey. Se ve
Mhm.
con madre. So, BBVA en la noche con las luces y todo el pinche aura que tiene, con madre.
I thought Azteca was gonna do that in the renders, and then they didn't.
No mames, güey. Don't come in here talking about those renders, because those renders filled us all up with hope.
Yeah, they said that they was gonna have some
Yeah, shit.
the pillars were gonna light up and it was gonna look badass. Yeah, bunch of
It
fucking
was like
lies,
Temu.
bro.
There was gonna be a
It's like,
park on the outside. They were gonna redo the surrounding areas. ¿Y sabes qué fue lo que pasó, güey? Las obras de trabajo en toda la Ciudad de México no empezaron hasta 15 días antes del Mundial. Entonces, no mames, güey. El Azteca was a fucking patch job. We've talked
yeah,
about
it
it
really
multiple
was.
times.
It
Like,
was, man.
They're doing a really good job on the broadcast to make it look not as shitty.
But I still want to say they left those seats, remember, during Liguilla? Some people
no,
were
they filled them up.
screaming.
They fixed them.
They- but you know the seats I'm talking about?
The ones that were
you were like
obstructed?
behind a column?
Yeah.
You,
Ah,
you
esos
were on
no.
the side of the palco. You was like, you can't see shit.
You know what I did see the other day that was fucking like beautiful? It was during the Colombia match in El Azteca, ¿verdad? Up in the lower levels, a fight broke out. Y luego hubo un poquito de, pushing and shoving y todas esas pendejadas. Pero the way that the seats are built, it is so sloped que cuando se cayeron los pendejos que se estaban dando chingazos, they went like 3 rows down from like cuánto es que tiene ese pinche slope ahí y cuánta gente es que trataron de meter en la nueva renovación del estadio.
Like I said, they're doing a really good job of covering up all the bad news. But Diaz, we were talking about earlier. How important is it to make El Azteca impenetrable and maintain that number one, the clean sheet, right? Mexico haven't conceded goals so far in the World Cup, but then also like winning in El Azteca, which a lot of teams have tried and failed, right? Like Mexico hasn't really lost too many official matches in El Azteca. So how important is that going into tomorrow's match?
Look, man, honestly, it's going to be a 50-50, right? El Azteca is no longer the fortress that it used to be. And we've talked about this a couple times. Let's not forget the U.S. went in there and fucking beat us. All right. That was
Wait,
the
what?
so-called El Aztecaso.
It was in the U.S. It was
¿Quién
Honduras
fue?
and Costa
It was
Rica.
Honduras.
Ah, bueno.
Yeah.
Ahí estás, güey. Son los dos. Oh, sorry. U.S. tied us. U.S.
Yeah.
tied us. That was
Yeah.
their whole thing. It was like, oh, we've always lost when we came to Azteca.
But
Like
also
this
win. That
time,
was their win.
we got, yeah. Pues,
They
güey, son los
won
gringos,
1-1.
güey. Son los gringos. You know how they measure things different. They like to call themselves world champions in baseball, basketball, and football, but they don't compete against the world. So their shit is a little bit skewed. But as I was saying, El Azteca ya no es lo mismo. ¿Por qué? Porque ya no jugamos en el sol. Ya no jugamos al mediodía.
That's true.
Ya no tenemos el smog de antes. Ahora la Ciudad de México se convirtió muy, muy fufis, muy puto. Y dicen,
Muy
no,
puppy.
el aire le lastima a mi perrito, que quién sabe qué. No, puto, necesitamos que el Azteca sea otra vez la fortaleza que era antes.
I agree. It got gentrified a little bit.
Mexico City got soft, man. And that's the thing. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Mexico in general got soft because you know what I've been seeing? I've been seeing images of these fucking Japanese falling asleep in sidewalks in Monterrey and them not getting robbed. At the very least, take their wallet. No mames, güey. Los están dejando con agua y con cobijas. Ese no es el México donde yo crecí, güey. Yo crecí bajo el sexenio de Calderón. Y el que sabe qué es, saben qué pedo.
I think it's important that they win tomorrow and keep the clean sheet.
But yes, it is important to keep the clean sheet. Most importantly, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't think the clean sheet matters that much. I think the win matters most.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Did any of you see the press conference that Orbelin gave? Whew,
Rifalo was
my
talking about it.
my dear good sir, talk about fucking media training. That's a lesson or
What did
two
he
that
what
Luis
did he
Romo could
say?
take. He said that winning is important.
Oh,
Like, hey, we're at home. This is something special. Yes, we are committed to win. Yes, we are going to try to win, but the way that we win won't define our victory. The most important thing is to go out there, give a good showing, and win. Y neta, güey, I hate to say this, but you saw that European level of media training. He's obviously been worked with. He's fine. He's been fucking polished. Like, he spoke eloquently.
what's been coming out, at least for me in the TL, is like all the Ochoa talk and how, everybody was trying to have Aguirre like get a reaction out of him. Like, hey, what do you think about Ochoa? Like, should he start tomorrow? I've been hearing all these rumors, and I think like both Alexis Vega and Orbelin both like, sang his praises and said, oh yeah, it'd be nice for him to do that. But what do you think, Abdias? You think they should stick with Tala or should Ochoa get the start tomorrow?
Neta, way you're gonna expose me like this. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm getting old. I'm getting into my bag, and I'm starting to see the importance of giving their flowers to people, not just while they're still alive, but while they are in a point where they're still relevant, where it still means something.
Mm.
So therefore, giving Ochoa the send off at El Azteca that he deserves, fuck, bro, it tickles my jimmies. Like, mira, güey, déjame te pinto una pinche foto. It's the pregame before the match. There's this low angle sweeping shot that comes in. El camarógrafo le corre hacia Memo. Comes in, pans up from the bottom up to his shoulders to El Azteca lleno de verde, güey. Everybody screaming. The game kicks off. Wide shot from the back from behind the goal. ¿Y qué es lo que ves, güey? Esos pinches risitos preciosos. Tell me that doesn't give you this nice little warm feeling. Tell me that giving him this moment to go out for everything that he meant, not to me and you, because personally, I fucking hated him. I think he's a media product, está sobrevalorado y todo esto. Pero ¿sabes qué, güey? We're at home. This shit's got special vibes. Fuck it. Throw him in. ¿Y sabes qué, güey? Si en realidad es tanto pedo así, take him out during the hydration break. You got 5 changes. Take him out during the hydration break. Yeah, Memo, we gave you your flowers. Get the fuck out. Let's go. Because you know what? I would much rather us burn the first 23 minutes versus the second half or the last 23 minutes where you know that the pressure is going to be a lot higher, a lot more intense.
Yeah. I think there's still a lot that Tala needs to get tested on, especially the aerial attack. Czechia, they're a taller team. So, for me, I want Tala to remain starter tomorrow. But then, yeah, 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game, Bring in Ochoa. Give the fans what they want.
At the end?
At the end, yeah, at the end.
Wait, that's risking too much.
Well, depending on the result, if it's a comfortable, 3-4-0, then yeah, at the end you do it.
Well, sí, güey. At that point, fucking put in any minusválido que quieres. Fuck. Put in Acevedo. Like, why not? At that point, put in any pendejo que quieras. Ponlo al principio, güey. Ponlo al principio. Porque here's the other deal. I want to be honest with you. It's Memo. So while granted, I want him to get this like first 23 minutes, I know he's going to eat at least one. All right. I don't have a hope that he's not going to eat 1 to 2. So therefore, we put him in for the first 23. Se traga dos. We take him out, put in a new goalie. Everyone realizes that Memo's a hot piece of shit. And then the team has to work that much harder to try to scrap out a draw. Y si eso, güey, si no pasa, me vale verga, güey. Ya estamos clasificados.
Mm-hmm.
¿Qué chingas más quieres? Like, you know what, man? I don't know if you've been following or not. I tried it, pero it keeps changing by the minute and it gets wilder and wilder every time.
Oops. Sorry, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
No hay pedo, güey. Como decía, it's been changing by the minute. I haven't really been looking at it. I don't know if you have, but as of right now, who should Mexico be drawing up against?
Oh,
How is it looking?
Let me see if I can pull up the BBC.
Because that England draw kind of changes things, doesn't it?
Right now, as it stands, Mexico would play Scotland.
Oof.
And
so a battle for the drinking championship?
So it'd be Wednesday, July 1st against Scotland, and then the winner of England versus Cape Verde.
Güey, me da miedo. You mean to tell me the Titan Army is going to step foot into fucking Mexico after seeing what they did to Boston and seeing what Mexico does to itself? Whew. No mames, güey. Esa sí que va a estar buena.
Did they, I heard something about that they were trying to shut down people from drinking outside the game in Mexico. Is that true?
I don't know about right now, but I know in the previous ones. And okay, so here's the deal. I know that they did it for these warm-up matches before the World Cup, where they had people outside of the gates, so outside of like where FIFA starts, filtering people out with breathalyzers.
Wow.
And if you blew over the limit, you weren't allowed in.
That's crazy.
So I haven't looked. I haven't seen. I'll be honest with you. I've been kind of busy at work. I haven't been able to follow a lot of like el mame that's been going on. Pero I wouldn't doubt it, especially the way Mexico City is. Come on, guys. We all know the way it is.
All right. Hey, let me just say this. Abdias, my hat's off to you, bro. You're a real hater. You're like, fucking put Ochoa in there, and then let's see him crash and burn. Yo, I like that. That's how it should be. Not all this fucking... These motherfuckers are scared. Let's be honest. They're scared. Jaime, and all the Chavistas, the fact that they're like, oh, no, we want to see him get more confidence. We want to see him work on things. That's proof that he should have never been the starter, and they should have gone with the vet.
What? No, dude, you want to give continuity to a goalkeeper that's got 2 clean sheets and an incredible heroic save against Korea. You don't want to put him
and why was he able to do that? And first of all, don't call it iconic. You called it iconic earlier. Come on.
It's more iconic than it's more impressive than Ochoa's save against Brazil. I'm saying that because it was a double save
for sure. See what I'm saying? That's all it like boils down to. Way no mames.
Dude, Ochoa, he didn't even look good in the videos that they uploaded today. Dude's fucking 40 years old, man.
It's all good, bro. Trust me. Se pone la verde, and it's a whole different show, bro.
the headband comes on and it's magic.
Even that little hat he used earlier.
He's there to sell tickets and to do commercials and, but he should not be our starter.
I think, man, we gotta appreciate our legends, bro. Rafa got a send off.
Did he?
Yes, bro. Don't you remember? He retired right after the World Cup, and he started in a game against Brazil as a DM.
That's why we lost.
I mean, possibly it could have been, but I think, see, because Chicharito would have gotten a proper send off had he not been with the Squirts.
Yeah, no, and he'll never get a proper send off. Unfortunately, I mean, he burned all his bridges with the national team.
I agree. And Ochoa's been like he's been like the what do you call it? Like the loyal soldier.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He's always been there. Whenever they needed him, he showed up. He lunch pail type of guy. First one in, last one out.
Is he though?
You gotta appreciate that.
Is he just there because he's filming all these commercials for Centenario and Burger King and Allstate and I don't know what else other commercials he's on, but he's everywhere.
Maybe, but then thanks to him, Tala can, he can just work on his game. You don't want that. You don't want the vet to be taking all the media, like the media attacks, taking all the questions, doing all types of media days and commercials and shit. While Tala, he can be in the gym.
I guess so. I mean, so far, Aguirre's tactics have gotten us this far. We've been able to win our first 2 opening matches, and tomorrow will be a historic opportunity to win 3 in the group stage. We haven't done it before. I think Czechia won't be no slouch though. They have the urgency to try and get a win and stay in the World Cup. So I don't think it's going to be easy as everyone expects it to be, but I do expect it to be a goleada.
And Jaime, let me ask you this real quick, and I need you to answer honestly, bro. You want Tala to start. You want him to get that clean sheet, that 3rd clean sheet, because you want to brag, right?
No,
Come on.
For me, it's more about just the perception is the most important thing, and I'm not just talking on Talavera. I'm talking about the Mexican national team. There's been people tweeting like saying this is a team that nobody wants to face, right? Because we're at home and we haven't conceded a goal, and we are really like defensively we've been very disciplined. So we need to keep that perception up. We need to keep this image up that we are impenetrable. And in El Azteca, we have a record that favors that. So I think for the sake of the national team and going into the knockout phase, I want to maintain that dominance. That's all.
I would argue that Tala hasn't even been really like outside of that shot, right? That double save, which by the way, the only reason why that happened was because he didn't come off his line. I mean, the fucking Korean player, he headed that ball in his little box. But outside of that, he hasn't really been, the only pressure we saw was his own mistake against South Africa.
Yep. He had those jitters. He had that nervousness, and that was about it. That was like really the only... I can't really think of too many shots that South Africa had in that opening game.
I just think I would like Memo to close this chapter on a high. And just because he's done, bro. I mean, once this is over, he's done. And unless something tragic happens to Tala, we're not going to see him again. So it's like, if Tala's the goalkeeper that you guys think he is, he's going to go on to do great things. And he has no competition.
I'm curious if Aguirre will do it. I mean, he's pretty pragmatic and stuck in his ways. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do it. And then Ochoa, I don't know, he'll get like his own proper send off in a future match, but we'll see.
Bro, just based on those questions they asked him, I feel like he's gonna be like, no, ahora por mis huevos no lo voy a hacer. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like he's that petty like that.
Yep.
Oh man.
You mean he's Ancelotti? That same level of pettiness, you call a player up to the national team just to not play him out of spite?
What, Endrick?
Yeah, carnal.
He finally got it, though.
You know what's been my favorite meme about this whole thing? That one where it's like, Endrick tells Ancelotti that he likes fish.
Oh,
and then they have Ancelotti just fucking massacring a river.
Dude, there's been so many funny-ass videos. Oh, my God. It's like the meme that just keeps giving.
it's beautiful, man. It's neta way. Once again, X has proven why I'm never fucking leaving that platform.
It's too
Like,
good.
me vale verga, like how racist, how right wing, how crazy it might get. It truly is the epitome of fucking social media. All right, because you can find anything that you want. You can throw putazos about anything you want, and it's just fucking wild. Let's be honest. The EU now has beef with the fucking Argentinian meme that was made. El,
Oh.
el de when they beat what was it, Algeria?
Mm-hmm.
Cuando estaban, ¿qué pasó, negrito? Where it's an Argentine like ripping apart an Algerian. The EU found it. Why? Because Twitter now has automatic
I was gonna
translate,
say
and it
that's the
became a big fucking
dude.
thing.
That is the greatest thing that's happened to Twitter is the auto translation, man.
Bro, I'm learning about this guy who's like fucking mid-level executive in Japan, but goes to have fucking sushi and hand jobs during fucking lunch on the company card. And I'm like, get pedo, way.
I've been exposed to levels of racism that I didn't even know existed thanks to the auto translate, bro. I'm like, oh my. There was one about like Bangladesh is the taint between India and there was like some tweet, bro. It was just like the most poetic way of insulting a country, and I'm like, oh my god, bro. I can't believe this is free.
Levels of just unhinged shit. It's been beautiful. Like, wait, si no fuera por pinche Twitter and X, we would have never met al Pato Merlin.
Oh yeah.
Nobody would have known about him. Y luego, güey, el pinche Mexi Shrek, que es el dueño. That has been even better. All right. Although out of the whole thing del Pato, there's two instances that have made me super fucking happy about it. And that I can say, ¿sabes qué, güey? Ese pinche pato me representa, güey. And it has been one on Saturday, cuando salió en AAA con el Gran Americano at the very beginning of the show. All right, that was special. And two was cuando Sheinbaum los invitó al Palacio Nacional y el pinche los huevos de Merlín, güey, que le soltó una pinche mordida a la presidenta. I was like, ¿sabes qué, güey? You're with us. Y gracias a ti, el PRI va a regresar a su former glory. No te preocupes, güey. Gracias.
You know, I've really enjoyed this World Cup. I don't know if it'll be my favorite just yet. I think it's a little premature to say it, but it's quickly becoming one just because of the ambiance in the beginning in Mexico. And, you know, I think we finally have something to like pile up on. And that's like, we have the mascot, which is like, you know, Merlin. And that's been really nice. And, you know, I hope Mexico have a deep run in this World Cup. It doesn't matter who we face in the round of 32. We should get past them, whether it's Scotland, whether it's Cabo Verde. Like, I don't know. I don't care, but bring it on. We should be getting to the round of 16 comfortably.
Hey, wait, what's going on with Spain? Porque el mame de ayer era que España was in the mix now. Que there was some fucking hidden path where we might have to go up against Spain.
Yeah, no. Somehow in the, you know, that website that's been predicting things. I don't know if that's true though. I think now that Spain won, I don't think that's a possibility that we can match up against them in the round of 32. I think it was if things stood where they were drawn because they drew their first game, but then they won. So I think that eliminates that chance. But there is a possibility of I think like Netherlands facing them. I don't know. I have no idea.
Neta, güey, like I've been trying to keep up not just with the matches, but the way this whole thing works out, right? Like who plays what, quién sabe qué, neta, güey. I feel like fucking Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. I'm just looking at shit. I'm like, ¿qué pedo está pasando?
That's a good reference, man.
Porque, güey, no mames, 5 partidos en un día. Cada gol está cambiando the way this thing is set up. Like, it's fucking beautiful. And to be honest, Jaime, I'm gonna chime in with you, way, because I'm pretty sure you and I are about the same age. And maybe you started watching a lot longer before me, but the first World Cup that I truly remember
Mm.
like experiencing it as a kid was France.
98. Yep.
Right? That's yeah. That's the first one that like I was in it. All right. I had the that little French bird. I can't remember what its name was.
The cock.
I had it. I watched. Yeah, yeah. Chinga, güey. Make me feel gay even as a child. Pero bueno, este, I had that. I watched it. It was amazing. I've watched all of these other World Cups, and you know which one gave me a little bit of the same vibe? It was South Africa.
Mm.
And South Africa gave me a little bit of that vibe because I was watching it through Televisa Deportes, right? With Facundo, with all of those people. So it gave me the mame that I wanted, that I needed. I had el compayito, I had all of these things. Pero ahora I'm watching it on the cock, right? I've been loyal to the cock. And although I will say this, the cock needs to work on their feeds. I need multiple feeds of the cock because last night when that France game got delayed, you can't do multi-screen on the cock.
Mm-hmm.
So, aquí de goloso que yo estoy, que quiero andar como el perro de las dos tortas, me tuve que chingar y mejor me chingué el de Norway, which was a hell of a match. But as I was saying, ¿qué iba a decir? México, güey. Sin toda esa programación con madre de TUDN y todo eso, has been giving me the vibes by just the people alone because
Yep.
all that we did was let Mexico be Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And the way everything is shaping out, the way, and I've said it before, I'm working on a piece about what this World Cup has revealed to us, right? Being held in 3 different countries, the different football cultures that each country gives, and what does it bring to the World Cup? Mexico has been leading the way in all of that.
They've shown
And
out,
with
man.
me being Mexican, it's connecting way.
No, it's been beautiful. I think I still go back to like opening day and seeing Azteca and all its glory. It looked like it was something out of '86. It felt vintage, even though we're in 2020. It's like hard to explain. But that opening game was awesome, and I'm really looking forward to them returning to Azteca tomorrow.
Wait, I've never been this excited for an opening game, and Mexico has played in enough of them
Mm-hmm.
to where this is, it's not that special. Pero había algo, güey, de que era en el Azteca, México lo estaba abriendo en casa. I was legitimately fucking giddy
Mm-hmm.
for it. I couldn't contain myself. That day at work was super unproductive because I was just counting down the minutes until this bitch kicked off.
I know, dude.
Y luego, el juego de Japón, güey, todo el puto día igual me la pasé de que, ok, hoy es el día, hoy está el bueno, bam, 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 estoy listo. Luego, la puta euforia el próximo día, güey, en sí mismo, neta no me dejaba hacer nada. I was too fucking happy. I should have just called off. I was too happy for my own good. I had a smile on my face the whole fucking time. It was just a good time. So it's special, man. I'm gonna say this right now. So far, my favorite World Cup until it leaves Mexico. Once it's gone, the vibes, everything's gonna be gone because let's not forget where we're going to. We're coming back to the land of denied passports, shootings at fanfares, y todo un pinche otro desmadre.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much vibes here in the States. I know that Levi's had a pretty good turnout yesterday, which was surprising because it was Jordan and Algeria. But I saw some videos of like there is no like tailgating going on, and I don't know, man. there's no culture here, and the fact that the final's gonna be like in New York, New Jersey, like it looks like it's gonna be stale as fuck.
You know what, Jaime? I'm really happy that you bring that up because supposedly the reports were we were gonna get tailgating, right? We were gonna have tailgating at the stadiums. We were gonna have all of these things, and I haven't seen one fucking bit of it.
I know.
And so did those fuckers lie to us again?
Probably.
Because I haven't even seen fucking reports about it. Like no one is talking about it, but yet it's magically gone.
Yeah.
But have you guys watched every single game at home?
No, not every game. Most of them though.
No, I mean like when you watch the game, are you usually at home?
Most of them. I've been going like the opening game. We had a whole barbecue and stuff at my friend's house, and then I've been watching some games. Like I haven't gone to like the fan festivals, like the ones here, the watch parties or whatever. The ones here suck, bro. Like it's just there's been fights and it's just a mess trying to get there, and nah, no, thank you.
I've been locked in my office with a third screen. That's the way I've been consuming it.
I just wonder because for the first time, I mean, last week to see the Korea game, I just went out to like a bar or something. So I was surrounded by a lot of Mexico fans because during that opening day, I saw a lot of my friends. They were out. They went to there was a lot of like a lot of watch parties in Portland, and honestly, it's a vibe. Like I don't really want to do it again because it was hot as fuck and the drinks were super expensive. But I ended up, watch the game. The DJ started playing Mexican music. We ended up at a different bar. We got super drunk. Like it was a good time.
Somebody thought, I'll say this, bro. You live in a soccer city.
Mm-hmm.
Portland is a soccer city. You guys
No
have
mames. You
Como chingados de que no, güey? You have a
Soccer
culture.
City?
You guys have
You have a culture.
the Timbers, Portland Timbers. You guys.
Yeah,
You
but I
have the
was
Thorns.
bro, but I was with Mexicans. Mexicans don't go to Timbers games.
Wait, también, wait. You're a fucking sanctuary city. No mames. Of course there's fucking Mexicans. They don't get deported. Come to Ohio.
It was lit, bro. I mean, it was crazy because literally everybody had the new green jersey, the home jersey, and I was
Mhm.
like, what the fuck? And like me, I can't. I bought that ABBA. That I think I sent in the chat. I bought that like
Ooh.
30-year anniversary or whatever it was. I bought that, and everybody was like hella giving me props and shit. I got my girlfriend I have that OG Rafa Marquez Mexico jersey with like it's almost like the white V. It's not really a V, but it's like the white stripe. And everybody was hella like they were like enamored with that jersey as well. But I had a great time. I probably won't do it again. I'd rather watch it at home with my dad. But just for like just every once in a while, just like once in a blue moon, it was great.
Hey, sombrerito. They weren't admiring the shirt, güey. Son un montón de pinches chapulines. So, cuidado, carnal.
Nah. My güerita nunca, bro. They know she's with me. It's all good.
Güey, you're trusting the white devil? What's wrong with you?
Hey, respeto, más respeto, okay?
Oh, I've been enjoying most of the World Cup from my couch and a 75-inch TV, bro, and ceiling speakers and air conditioning and access to any drink that I, what I mean, it's just it's comfortable watching it, and plus a lot of the times I want to record right after the game, so I can't be out and about and getting to borracheras. But I think eventually I want to pick one game and we'll try to go to maybe Stadium Pub in Walnut Creek or somewhere where there's like proper pub vibes. Because aside from that, bro, some of the places that have been like hosting games, there's just too many neutrals, man.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. For me personally, if I want to watch a match, like I've been like, ¿sabes qué, güey? Este va a ser un buen partido. I want to watch it. I'd rather stay home.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay home. I get to watch all of it. I get to view it at my own pace. Versus if I'm at a bar, I'm drinking, there's music, there's all of these other distractions
Mm-hmm.
that don't necessarily allow me to focus on the game, or at least focus on the game tactically.
I agree.
Because because when you're in that setting, you know what you're doing? You're
t-
ball watching.
You're talking and you're, taking shots and side
Yeah.
conversations, and then you're like, oh shit, wait, what's going on in the game?
But even then, like when you're watching the game, you end up ball watching. You're not looking at the defensive line. You're not really paying attention to the spaces and the way that they're developing. You're not looking at the work off the ball. You're just looking at the main action because of everything that Jaime just mentioned.
Pinche Diaz, ¿a poco you analyze the game?
See, güey?
Ah,
Mira,
no
güey.
creo.
Mira, de que vengo aquí and I act like a pendejo, that's a whole different thing because I know the role that I play. Pero de que no estoy poniendo atención y viendo los juegos, por favor, güey, por lo menos respétame 2 pesos.
Yeah, bro. I couldn't when I was out, and I found myself on the fucking phone, bro. Like, cause I was so drunk, so I couldn't even focus at that point. And I found myself like talking shit with you guys and stuff, just like like oh, pinche Mexico, and you know what I'm saying. Like, but yeah, I don't think I want to do it again. I think the move is staying in. Having a few beers or something.
It sounds
And
like we need the
especially bro, that heat. Oh my god, I can't imagine being in LA or someplace like that in Texas. Hell nah.
we need the official Cantina meetup somewhere. I don't know, Vegas. Let's all just meet in Vegas.
You know what? I will veto Vegas right now because I just had a friend go there this weekend. And bro, he was miserable. He was like, wait, the heat?
Oh yeah,
Don't go to Vegas right now.
that's true.
Dude, I'm
Vegas
about to
is
be
a
there on
hard
Friday.
no.
You're what?
Buena
Yeah,
suerte,
I'm
güey.
going to Vegas Friday, yeah.
You're going to Vegas? Shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was there at the end of May, and I'm going back, but the in-laws and shit.
Damn. Well, have fun, dude. I mean, stay indoors or go to the pool parties.
Yeah, bro. They got a pool over there, and I've never used it. I always just stay in and I just drink. My suegro has like all types of alcohol, so I'm just in there just drinking with him.
Nice. Yeah, I've, grown up in Cali, like I can handle the heat, but there's something about desert heat that's just like another level, bro. It's just so fucking dry, and then all of a sudden it just creeps up on you, and then yeah, dude, it's dangerous. Especially with
Bro, it's
alcohol.
like being inside of a fucking oven.
Yeah.
The problem is because everyone's like, oh, it's a dry heat. Ah, no te preocupes. You're going from AC to AC. You'll be fine. Wait, the moment the doors to the fucking hotel opens, it's like you have a hair dryer on maximum heat just blowing on your face the whole fucking time.
Yep.
Like, no mames, güey. You don't exactly get swamp balls, but like your gooch starts to sweat. It's not comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. So, Sombrito and Abdias weren't on earlier when Rifal asked this question, but now that you've kind of seen everybody in the first two games, which country do you think is going all the way? I said Argentina based on the help from FIFA and the referees, but I think Argentina are going on a deep run. I don't know about you guys.
Have we had the conversation about how at this point and this far into the game, there's no longer a conversation as to whether or not Messi is FIFA's favorite, but rather why are they protecting him this much?
Money.
This is where we need Joel to chime in because he believes in all types of conspiracy theories, but he doesn't think that FIFA wants Messi to fucking be the greatest ever. But for me, I think I'm still believing in Portugal, bro. Portugal or France.
Wait, so how can you believe that and then believe FIFA wants Argentina at the same time? You, you, you have to pick one, bro.
No, because I think Argentina's gonna get. I mean, we've seen it since the last World Cup. They're gonna get all types of help, all types of Yeah, I mean, I guess
That,
what do you call it? Help?
you as an Americanista should understand this. I think with some of these big teams, when a cause goes your way, and it's always seen that you're cheating, because you get that a lot. It's in America, or they're cheating, or the refs are on their side.
But they
Look,
are.
Jolie, I appreciate you brought this up because I did want to say this. Um, you guys spoke about how Messi should have gotten that red card for that
Yeah,
foul in that first game. But when Alexis Vega did it to Kevin Alvarez in the final against Toluca and America, you guys didn't say. Well, Jaime was the only one that kind of said shit, pero lo dijo begrudgingly, like he didn't really mean that shit. And nobody else said nothing. Nobody else said nothing. But yeah, that should have been a red card for Messi. Yeah, I know.
yeah, it should, but he's not known for tackling. That's the other thing. It's not like he's a prolific foul.
Bro,
So
no
I
bullshit.
do.
One time I fouled somebody like that, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm getting a red. And so like I stopped, I completely stopped because I was like, fuck, I'm getting a red. And then the referee was just like, continue, and I was like, ah shit. And so in my mind, I felt so guilty because I just had a 1v1 versus the goalkeeper. I felt so guilty. I just kicked it like all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. They have to judge it. They could judge it as it was intentional. Like, did you intentionally went to do that, or did you just fucked up? Like I think
I don't like
he
that.
Pero
was
no
gonna
mames,
I don't
foul.
like
Joel.
I
intentionality, bro.
just
No mames, way. A clear hit over the fucking ankle is a red. There's no debate. There's no nuance. There's none of that.
well, I'm just saying
Ahora,
for the refs,
una
not
pinche
not
plancha
the rule.
al chamorro. No mames, way. That's not even a fucking accident. You did that shit on purpose, and you deserve to get tossed.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that he's someone that, if you think about through his career, almost never fouls.
Bro, through
That's
his
that's the other
career,
thing.
it's been proven that he's a piece of shit person. Have you not seen the way que se engancha in MLS? The way that he goes and
No,
he fucking tries to intimidate and bully other players?
I
No
don't
mames,
watch.
way. The
I don't
fact that
watch
he
MLS
goes
games.
and he tells other Argentine players that they will never step foot in the Argentine Federation as long as as he's around. Did you not see the way que se encararon con Obed Vargas during the League's Cup when Seattle bounced them out?
Yeah, I saw that, but I mean, it's a lot of stuff there. You're playing
It's
a
a
lot of
lot of
accusations
stuff
there.
that you haven't been paying attention to. That's the thing. Just because you're not paying attention to it doesn't mean that he's not a piece of shit person.
But it has to be proven though, not just like
It
an
is
accusation that
proven. It's on tape. You can read his lips. Players
that he
have
says
gone on the record and said it.
that you're not playing for Argentina.
Yeah, they've gone on the record and said it.
Look, I don't know about that, but Jolie, let me ask you a question. You
Yeah,
you think you think Tata didn't somehow have like some sort of like back channel like agreement to just fucking throw against Argentina?
it's possible. I mean, they know each other. They could have phoned him in and told him to pack it in and just, you know,
He didn't
yeah.
he
I
didn't
mean,
play he didn't play Edson as a defensive midfielder, bro. He just left him on the bench for what?
yeah. There's stuff he did. Mexico played too defensive as well. It's a lot of stuff that you know
All
doesn't
right, all
sit
right,
well.
all right. Hold on. I'm gonna come in here. Somebody thought, here's the deal, bro. I'm a fan of the tinfoil fitted. I'm all about it. Pero sabes que, way, I'm not willing to go as far as to say that there was a backroom deal that this and that happened. What I will say is that Tata fucking slipped the knife between the ribs and got in a little bit too close to home and then fucking got us. All right? That's what he did. He fucked us over at the last minute when we didn't see it coming. Now, I'm really happy that we're talking about Tata once again because when I joined, the conversation was on Bielsa, right? And guess what, way? There's this magic similarity with Bielsa and his shitty results and Tata with his shitty results. And you know what that is? That both of them were fucking inches from getting fired from their jobs. If it wasn't, well, Tata tried to resign. The Mexico Federation told him no. Um, Bielsa was about to get fired from La Federación Uruguaya, but due to how much it would cost for them to break his contract, he had to stay at the helm. Y ahora, you're getting this World Cup, you're getting all of these things. And while everyone talks about like, no, es que Bielsa desgasta por cuánto es que le pida cuánto le exige a los jugadores, que es y todo esto, ¿sabes qué es lo que desgasta, güey? ¿Sabes qué es el mayor puto dolor de huevos? Tener a un cabrón que se cree más puro que nada, que cree que el fútbol tiene que ser una pinche pelea social. Cabrón, train your fucking team. Stop talking about los pobres se hacen más pobres y el rico se hace más rico. El fútbol es de la gente. ¿Sabes qué, güey? Todos lo entendemos, pero si no das resultados, cállate el hocico con tu puto discurso. Porque ¿sabes qué? Eres un pinche vendehumos.
Yeah, he's too much of like a purist, and he gets in his own way at times. You know, one thing that I was surprised with Aguirre's press conference today is, you know, they asked him questions in English. The Czechia press wanted to know how much he knows about that team, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I have people that have been watching and keeping an eye on them." So, but he basically admitted that he doesn't watch the footage, bro. Like he has people do that
Oh
for
my
him.
God! Come on,
Bro,
Jaime,
he
you
said
don't
it in the
believe
press
that shit.
conference.
Come on, bro.
He couldn't answer the question.
Yo,
He couldn't
he
answer the
didn't want
question.
to. He didn't want to, man. You guys are just.
No mames, Joel.
Come on, bro. You think he Forrest Gump his career for 20
No, I'm
plus
just
years?
saying, like
Come on, he doesn't watch games,
he's very good at delegating,
bro.
is what I'm saying.
Joel, why doesn't he last places?
What do you mean it doesn't last? He takes the
And
small
how
teams
long
and
does he last there?
hey, he lasts enough
No,
that he
no, no,
forged
no,
a
no, no,
long
no, no, no.
career.
Don't fucking dance around the question.
I
How
don't
long
know
does
how
he
long
last?
overall
On
because I
average,
didn't
he only
keep
has a
track.
2-year stint at any place that he goes.
Yeah, yeah, but very few coaches, and Bielsa's the other one, can still keep getting jobs in the top tier.
Y
You're not
sabes
gonna
qué,
be
güey, el
shit.
ruso
Hold on,
Brailovsky said it best.
you're not gonna be in La Liga getting offers left and right because you're shit. Dude, it's La Liga, arguably the best league in the world. They're
La
not gonna
Liga, the
be
reason why
keep
you're getting
hiring
an
the same
offer is
shitty
because
coach.
you have to take a mid-table team to the
Okay, but he's
fucking
good.
quarterfinal.
And he's
That's
good at
all
what
you
he
have
does.
to do because La Liga
And
is a 2-league team. All
it's still
right,
one of the best leagues in
no
the
vas a
world.
ganar el campeonato, lo que vas a ganar a lo mejor va a ser la Copa del
Well,
Rey.
that doesn't take away from it being regarded
It takes
as,
a lot away
if
from
not
it.
the best.
It takes a
No, it
lot away
doesn't.
from it. If you can't
No,
wait,
it
your
doesn't.
league is a 2-team league, maybe a
That's not my
3-team league
league.
if you get
It's
lucky.
their league. Well, their teams
All
are most
right.
dominant in Europe.
Por favor, señor. El Bayern es mejor.
It might be, but not consistently better. Like it goes by cycles. Currently, you've had PSG, you've had Bayern, but I think if you do the overall head-to-head, the Spanish teams have the most wins.
All I know is Brailovsky,
But I mean,
he felt a certain type of way. He got triggered when they were talking about Biesla.
But he said it right way. He exposed it.
He did.
Like, this is the lie, and this is what we've been told. Here's the reality of it.
but he's done some
we even
stuff.
said it here, güey. We've
But it's not like
espérame, güey,
nothing
espérame, pero
happened.
siempre se le hemos mamado, ¿verdad? De que
Oh yeah,
no es un gran es un gran formador, que quién
yeah.
sabe qué, el mame de que esas son piernas de futbolista. Like, no mames, güey. We recognize what he's good at, but that also means that we have to recognize his shortcomings.
His shortcomings is that tiene un equipo medianito. I think last episode, I don't know if it was Rifado or who said it. They said that Uruguay had un equipazo. I disagree with that. First of all, they got Cáceres starting at center back, mid. Fuck Cáceres. He's gonna fuck everything up for me. I don't even gotta watch those games to know that he fucked up somehow. They got hit their left back is Sanabria, who used to play at Atlético San Luis. No mames, now he plays at MLS. Their goalkeeper plays in the Argentinian league. Bro, they got ¿cómo se llama el güey el que juega en Tigres? He used to play for América, el Búfalo. They got him on the bench. Like, bro, like really, like you're the backup to Viñas, who was playing in the second division of Spain, who couldn't cut it out at America, fucking went to León, was kind of mid, was whatever. Like, come on, bro. Like, he doesn't have the team that he had, what, like 4 years ago? Come on.
But Brailovsky said that Javier Aguirre has more victories in the World Cup than Bielsa does, and he just dropped the mic after that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should give Aguirre some flowers, man. It's not easy.
Is he talking about just this year?
I think just
No, bro,
historically.
Because
Historically,
Bielsa's also played like three
he
World
coached.
Cups.
He coached Argentina, right? Or right?
Yeah, too. They got knocked out
Yeah.
the group stage.
I about to say he coached a shitty Argentina. Like,
That's what I was
let's
gonna-
not
yeah,
forget that
pre-
one.
Messi?
that
Come
team
on,
was
bro.
really good, bro. That
Then why did they get knocked
Argentina,
out? Then why did they
Just
get
got
knocked out?
Group of death, and the games were pretty even. It's not like they got up. They had England,
Joel, what
Sweden,
happened,
and
güey? Te metieron el chile
Nigeria.
argentino, el chorizo argentino, and you become a fucking apologist. I
No,
don't know what the
tampoco,
fuck happened with
tampoco.
you.
I'm not gonna
Te,
go out there and then just start spewing. It's not
te
about
dan
the
te dan un
feeling or
pinche
emotion.
choripán,
It's
güey,
what
and
it
you're out
is.
here spreading the cheeks.
No, it was a good team, dude. They had really good players. But
Then why didn't they
I,
make it out of the group stage?
I'll tell you why,
Especially,
Abdias,
football.
because that
especially
was
cuando
football,
tenían al
bro.
pinche mago de,
There's no
de Bielsa.
guarantees.
Abdias.
There's
It
no
was before
guarantees in
FIFA started,
football.
fucking putting in their little shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was before FIFA. Fuck, what am I trying to say here?
Antes que el carnicero le pusiera el dedo a la pesa.
Dude, they had a good
Before
squad.
they put their
There you
thumb
go.
on the
There you go.
scales.
Thank you.
They had
Thank you.
Matias
that-
Almeida, they
I
had
think-
Pochettino, they had Samuel, they had Zanetti, Batistuta,
Batibol, man. Shit.
Verón, Hernan Crespo,
Yeah, Lujita
Aymar,
Verón.
Cholo Simeone. Dude, they had squad, bro.
Yeah,
They did.
I get it. But that was one of the worst results that Argentina has had. So when you talk to them, how do they view that selección?
I know Crespo hates
Well,
it.
it
Like
was
a
some bad luck,
disappointment. As a
It happens.
disappointment. Because they didn't
It
make
is,
it out of
of
the group
course.
stage. Entonces, why are you here as a fucking apologist?
I'm not an apologist. You just want to shit on the team when it's like it's not always the way it seems. Just because they didn't make it out means that look at Mexico when they didn't make it. They didn't make it from a -1 goal differential, and you could say they were shitty. But if you compare it to a lot of other World Cups, it was just about how Mexico has performed. The only thing is that the other results didn't go our way. And so then can you say it's the worst?
Yeah.
You
Are
could
you
argue
telling me?
'cause they
Are you
didn't
telling me
go,
that
but
wasn't the
performance-wise-
worst Mexico squad that we've
No.
taken? Are you telling me that that's not the
No.
worst performance that
was.
we've given?
It was.
No, there's been
Por
Argentina
favor,
78. They lost
señor.
every game.
No digas
Argentina
mamadas, Mary
78.
Jane.
In my lifetime,
Argentina 78. Mexico lost every
dude,
game.
in my
There's
lifetime,
been way worse performances.
I wasn't
bro.
alive back
Oh,
then.
well, then now you're changing it in your lifetime.
In my
but then
lifetime,
at
that's
least
the
at
worst
that
Mexico team
time-
I've ever seen, bro.
See, wait, and you know what? If my mom had a penis, she'd be my uncle. All right? Like, no mames, way. This shit was over 40 years ago, and you're bringing in that example?
No, because you're calling it the worst, and it wasn't. Mexico has had worse, way worse. I mean, they couldn't even qualify to the World Cup worse. Finishing last place in the World Cup worse. Finishing the World Cup with like a -10 goal differential worse. So I mean, and you're trying to tell me that
¿Y en
'Cause
qué
you
año
missed
fue
it by
eso,
one.
güey?
Yeah, dude, that's
Is
in the
there
early
even tapes of it?
78.
That's
I
early
already told
stages,
you.
bro.
Yes, there is 78. Right.
Okay.
It was the first win of an African team, and it was Mexico losing. 78.
Look.
Tunisia.
Now that we're talking about wins, I saw something that was basically it put I don't know I don't remember if it was like the last three World Cups or something like that, but there was like a range of recent World Cups where Mexico has about the same wins as teams like Spain, as other, you know, elite teams, right? And that to me is why I think that Mexico needs to fucking they basically need to control the ball more and progress with the ball and try and actually fucking attack instead of just sitting back and defending well. Because in my opinion, Mexico is just they're one of the good teams. You know, I think we have this mentality where it's like, well, if we try and play like this against England, we're gonna get railed. And I don't believe that. I believe in the Mexican players. I believe in Aguirre. I believe that he could be that coach that's like, orale, con los huevos, and they're gonna do it.
You might not like how they do it, sombrerito, but they can beat England. It's just not in the way that you want them to.
And you know what? And I don't have anything against a fucking scrappy win. All right. It's like I said, way I gave Romo his fucking flowers last episode that I was on. And I said the problem with him wasn't so much the message that he's giving, it was the delivery of it. All right? Because what was his message? Hey, the focus isn't so much winning, it's performing well. It's going out there and getting the result that that we need, whether that is by a big win, a scrappy win, whatever it is that's needed, that's what has to happen. And you know what, Way? As much as, I'm one of the biggest proponents of las formas and, there's certain ways of winning and losing. I think I'm liking this scrappy style of, ¿sabes qué, güey? I'm going to drag you down into the mud with me. Y nos vamos a echar vergazos aquí. It's not going to be the prettiest thing, but welcome to my house.
Yeah, but you gotta try and do something, bro. Like I just sitting back because we don't even have the players to counterattack. Everybody's fucking slow. Everybody from Fidalgo to Lira to Piojo, they all whenever they get the ball at their feet, they control they slow down. They think. They don't just fucking go. So it's like, so what style are we fucking playing? We're just gonna bunker ball and just what? Hopefully somebody else fucks up and then we get the result that way. I don't like that at all.
What do you expect?
What do you mean? What do I
Like,
expect? I expect them. I
what are
expect
you
them to.
expecting from this team that had to be put together, last minute? They were still deciding on players, dude,
No, Joe,
but a
Joe.
month before the World Cup.
This is not how they were playing leading up to the World Cup. Leading up to
They
the World
played
Cup
pretty
when
bad a couple.
no
Yes,
when they
people were calling for Aguirre to quit. Oh, they can't win. They can't win amistosos. He should leave. Bring whoever.
the results were different, but the on the field play, like, come on, bro. It's and I understand because yeah, he was trying to figure things out, which is why friendlies. I mean, that's what fucking friendlies are for. But I'm talking about the style of play when he was trying to figure out who his starting right back was going to be, who his defensive midfielder was going to be. All those things, they were on paper, they were doing things right. This is. I mean, bro, I don't even know. I don't even know, bro. If we see this, if they go well in the next round, if they play like this against Scotland, like against fucking Scotland, come on.
We're not gonna play that way against Scotland, but we will play against England that way, the way Ghana did today, just pulling teeth. That's the only way we. If we try to play England the way Croatia did, we're gonna get exposed heavily.
How we have the greatest fucking goalkeeper ever.
Well, Harry Kane won't have the voodoo curse that he had today, and he'll find a way in the back of the net. That's the thing, we can have a great defensive game, but where are we going to get our goals from?
Well, there you go. That's my whole fucking point. Where are they gonna come from when they're not even trying to progress the ball, when they're not even trying to fucking link up and like I saw something where it said where Mexico has a bunch of players that expect the ball at their feet. None of them will make a run into space. We don't have those type of players. Although I do believe we could, if we wanted to, we could play something like that, but we don't. They're stagnant, and I fucking hate it.
I think, yeah, I think you're reading too much into some of these games. I think they're playing like that uh, for a reason, because they want to take as much as that advantage as they can. So getting getting the points, even if it's scrappy, is over style. So if for Mexico, for example, if they got that win, that was massive. Getting that first win was massive. And then for the second game, I was expecting both teams to play for the draw. They pretty much did. And with the draw, Mexico will pretty much guaranteed second, advancing past the group, which was the first goal, of this World Cup. But they got the win. So now they secured first place, which is very important as well because you 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 get a weaker opponent. So I think that those are a lot of the things that they prioritize for this team, which people forget, man. And they did polling. I shared it with you guys. A lot of the polling they did in Mexico and the fans, everyone, the expectations were not even get out of the group stage. That was a lot of the expectations of Mexico fans in Mexico. The team was not going to do good and that they sucked and so much negativity. And now they won. They're burning down the city in celebration. we go, we go from not getting out of the group stage to they're playing like shit and the team still sucks. I don't think this team was ever going to look pretty fancy just because all the issues they've had with players. There just hasn't been that many players. It's the team with the most naturalizados. And that's the big reason why, and this is not just this cycle, you could go back 2, 3 cycles where because the league went to 11 extranjeros, that cut in half the amount of players in Mexico. So it's kind of funny where they're saying, oh, they need to send more to Europe. Why are you going to send more if you just cut your player production in half? And I think they've been working pretty good to remedy that. They did some of the rules, they changed a lot of stuff, and we've been seeing a lot of youngsters. Abdias was talking about Lilini. That's something Mexico had done in the past. They just didn't care too much. They'll reach out and be like, we'll give you a shot or whatever. They never really cared to recruit, and that's one of the things that they have them doing is straight recruiting and convincing these players that can play for 2 to even 3 different national teams to choose Mexico, and that's another reason why because they finally realized we can't get that competitive of a squad if we don't have enough players in the league
Look,
or even abroad that we sent abroad.
I just think you guys watch the game with rose-colored glasses because there's a
No,
world where we tie. There's a world where we tie, and you guys don't hop on the pod all fucking happy, celebrating, taking shots
what?
and shit.
We have
What do you mean? A World Cup?
we have Chris wanting to join.
Oh, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Welcome, Chris.
Yo, what's up, man? I don't know if I sent the request a little too much, but I just wanted to add to this convo. So let me see if I'm misunderstanding because you guys said you guys are okay with a scrappy win, right? But I think the opponent matters. Like I don't think you should go out and look like that against South Korea. That was my biggest issue, and I don't know if this is what you guys are arguing because
But South Korea's not a team that they've been a scrappy team. They've been a team that's been putting in the fight since '94.
I'm not trying to
Look
discredit.
at their results. No, but I mean, we kind of
Yeah,
are. Even South Africa, a lot of these African teams can be very different. Mexico's always historically struggled with these African teams that are more physical,
I guess
faster.
my issue was more on like like homie was saying, right? He was saying If the game ends 0-0, we're not talking highly about that game. And to me, that if it's not a goalkeeper mistake, that's an ugly game, and it was very
It
ugly
is.
for especially
Yeah,
the first half. Like, there's no reason for them to have that much possession, you know.
yeah.
So that's my issue with it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like a fan police, right? Because I think it's the World Cup. We should all be happy. We should all be enjoying it. A win's a win, right? And I think that's kind of the what you guys are saying, right? If I'm understanding correctly. But from a just like I guess that super fan perspective, that like that couch coach, whatever you want to call it, I'm just seeing so many holes, and I think it's super unnecessary for them to play like that. I think Korea should have been a game where they're the ones pushing them back, not come over here and then let me see if I can bullshit my way into a goal, because that's ultimately what it ended up being.
So, Chris, mira, güey, no es por amontonamiento ni nada de eso, güey. I just want to know where you lie. So, therefore, are you of the camp de Rifado and Albert that we should have dog walked Korea? Or are you a little bit more reserved like I was, which is cuidado con el kimchi, güey? Si pica.
I'm more of a Mexico has a style of play that's culturally attached to us, which is vamos a ir al tú por tú. And for me to see them stand back and say, voy a aguantarle los golpes hasta que se canse, I'm not a fan of that. To me,
Yeah,
it should
but
have
that
been
It's
that
like
vámonos para
that's when you
enfrente,
have a
vámonos para
good
atrás.
team.
it's
That's when you have a team that you've been working on,
it's like
and that's
Canelo when
just
he fought Triple G the first time. He got frustrated that he wasn't Mexican style, and then
But look what the
I
starting
understand.
11 they put out though. They like it sends a message saying no vamos a ir a buscar la goleada, vamos a ir a aguantar los golpes. And
yeah.
to
But
me,
but
that's my issue. It's like it shouldn't be like that. It should be more of a have a knockout power. And whoever, and I know you guys are saying right now, well, you don't
but
really have
knockout
that. You don't
power.
know.
How you gonna knock out a team if your strikers have been pretty much they've been gone, dude?
But a ver,
They,
contra South Africa, they were hesitant, but ahí estaban, podían golear.
yeah,
So for me,
playing
you
like that.
run it again. You have to run
Yeah,
it
but
again until you perfect it.
Korea was not going to allow us to do that, and obviously that's what happened. It was a different, and you know, I understand like us trying to impose our style of play, us being at home. I would have liked to see Mexico be more aggressive, but I mean, we're talking like fractions offside where they heavily exposed us. Like they fell into our offside trap a few times, but this could have easily gone the other way. They could have easily gone up a goal or two, and that's just the nature of Korea, dude. They're not the pushovers that they once were.
No, I get that, and it's not me trying to discredit them or trying to belittle them. I just think we're underestimated, and this is coming from a guy that's super negative when it comes to Mexican talent at times. But for me, I do think we have the talent to say if it's a midfield battle, we could win that, and we're going forward. To me, you could have put Fidalgo out there, Brian, even Mora out there. I think you could have won. I think Lira's been having a great World Cup. To
Yes.
me, he could have been in an island. It could have been recovering. That's why for me, I my argument isn't we're gonna win 5-0. We play like this. No, but I do think you have the arsenal to sit here and say, I could take it on the chin, but I'm hitting you while I'm hitting you. Like that's the whole point. And to me, it was more of a I'm gonna try to counter off of your mistakes, and I'm gonna wait for your mistakes. And to me, that's just that's my issue, right? I think you could have won this game playing the same way you played South Africa.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you hopping on and saying that. A lot of people were unsatisfied with that victory, and at the end of the day, you know, I've seen Mexico in so many World Cups, and we've always had like I look back at 2018. I look at back at when we beat Germany, when nobody expected us to beat Germany, and then I saw when we beat Korea, and we should be in the freaking driver's seat, but we somehow didn't secure first place in that group. We had to wait until Sweden, and then we shut the bed, and it's like, dude, like sometimes you kind of have to do something different. And Aguirre, that's his whole style, bro. Like he does that in La Liga with Mallorca, right? And he got them pretty far in Copa del Rey. Unfortunately, man, like at the end of the day, like the game has evolved and anybody can be anybody. So we have to adapt and change our style of play sometimes. It's a little bit more tactical now.
So do you think it's a tactical thing or just straight terrorism? Because I think there's two different arguments for that, right? Because you
Yep.
could be tactical, you could play more of a possession game, you can move the ball around, but like they sat back and they let Korea just Korea wasn't a threat. Let's be honest, they just weren't a threat. Son is super washed. It is what it is with him. But if they had a younger nine or just a more informed nine, I do think it's just a different game, even with that tactic. That's what I'm saying. Is it terrorism? Is it just a tactical game? Like, what is your guys' perspective on that?
Maybe Sombrerito can chime in. I know he was
Well, to me, it's physical. It's the games have become very physical. I was just talking about it around the time of Diaz came in. You have all these players now being trained by the same coaches, same Euro style. They're looking for the same type of players, physicality, and you were seeing stuff with teams like Cabo Verde, giving these teams a hard time. A lot of these players end up going to Europe or playing in all these other divisions, and their coaches that they learned the game over there. So it's evened out a lot. The game has evened out a lot. Same thing I said last time, um, where it's like Germany was a team that you always expected them to be in the elimination rounds, and the last two World Cups they didn't get out of the group stage. Italy, a team that is one of the most winning, most championships, has missed the last two or three World Cups now. So it kind of shows how much a lot of these teams have caught up to the bigger teams, and a lot of it is physical. And Mexico is a team that it's has a few injured players, man. That's the other things. Came in with some players not at 100, and other players that are just not match fit. Santi hasn't scored, I don't know in how long. And Raul, he sort of hit a slump towards the end, which it sucks for Mexico as well. And we were basically at this point, it would be like, see if these guys can get back their mojo, or just put it all on Hormiga. That was the only one that had been scoring
Nah,
consistently.
nah, 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 no. Come on, no, no.
I'm
Hormiga,
saying
Hormiga in
what
league.
the
Hold on,
options are.
bro.
I'm
No,
not saying
I
do
understand, I
it. I'm
understand. But it's not
giving.
like
I'm just
Hormiga
giving
wasn't on
you
fire, bro.
the setup. But he was. Or that's why he made it to the squad.
No,
He's scoring.
yeah, yeah. But then in the last 5 league matches, he had no goals.
No, you're right. But he still made it. So then what does that tell you about Mexico's attack? I mean, they brought in Vega. Vega shouldn't have been brought in. He was just another dude they had a slump. Same as Santi, as much as I like Santi. Those two dudes should not went in. Mexico had more players and more players on form. Those guys would not have made the cut. But the reality is we don't. They're not there. We just have illusions, man. Hope. We have
Quinones
hope.
is I think Quinones is the only player that is coming into this
There you
World
go.
Cup hot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and he scored.
And Lira, obviously, great run with Cruz Azul. He's been a fucking pit bull. I think in each position we have pretty, este Vasquez is coming in pretty good, and goalkeeping position obviously we're pretty solid there. But yeah, I think Aguirre is just trying to do what he can with what he has, and we can't play that kind of style that we're used to just because we don't have the players to do it. And we do, but he's not going to take a risk with all these young players. Like, I think about dynamic players, Gil Mora, Brian Gutierrez, right? Hormiga.
Yeah.
These guys are young and they're hungry, and they, I would love to see him experiment with them, but he's not going to do it on the grand stage in the World Cup. He's going to be too pragmatic.
Well, Jaime, you said it earlier with the scrappy, the way that you say that Mexican beat England, and that's the goal. That was like knowing that you're gonna play and you can play all these games in max, then you could get eventually pretty far until you face some type of opponent, and you're gonna play that style that's gonna give you the best odds to beat them. Because come on, bro, If you want to play 2 por 2 right now, this Mexico squad, 2 por 2 against an England, a Netherlands, and our dude, they're just gonna kill us.
No, pero Korea's not Netherlands. Korea's not
Doesn't
England.
matter. We're gonna stick to the game plan, man. We're that's it. We just not be switching it up every week. It's drilling into them till they're like a fine-oiled machine, man.
Pero,
They're already second-hand nature doing a lot of that shit.
pero Sombrerito, you said it best way. Aquí está el pedo. Okay, we want to go 2 for 2, right? Queremos ir pound for pound, vergazo por vergazo, ¿verdad? Queremos those old school fucking Pacquiao versus ¿quién era, güey? Márquez. ¿Verdad? That's what we want to see. We want to see esos tipos de putazos. Pero ¿sabes qué, güey? Cuando no tienes la velocidad, like you just pointed out, our players are slow. You mean to tell me going against South Korea, South Korea, with the fucking speed that they had, our limitations, you mean to tell me that was the best plan of attack? Or
They
that
looked
would
fast
have
to
been the
you?
best plan of attack? On the breakaway, they were. The difference is that Mexico did a really good fucking job at going into a low block.
I just
Well,
think
look,
I
look,
just think the fact that we couldn't even, have 2-3 pass sequences was just fucking a
well, the other
disaster.
teams count, bro. But look at what happened when Mexico was doing the 2 por 2 in the region.
Can I
Fucking
ask you
U.S.
guys
and
this, though?
Canada took their lunch. They
Let
couldn't
me ask you
win.
guys this though: does Vasco run with this squad if Montes doesn't get a red card?
I think because he came out with the double pivot, right? I think it would have been Edson over Romo, which I mean, fuck. I don't want to see that shit. To be honest, I don't. I'd rather see Fidalgo in the midfield. Something because I mean people on here talked about it. They said that Brian Rodriguez or Brian Gutierrez. They said that he didn't have an acompañante, right? And shit, I agree with that. So give him somebody.
I don't know if they would have done that though, because the whole week they were talking about was it going to be Fidalgo or was it going to be Mora? That's the reason why I'm not 100% sure they run it with that. I think something within the week they probably saw that Edson wasn't a great center back or something. Like I think that's what ended up happening because the whole week they said it's gonna be Fidalgo or Mora, and it's gonna be Edson at center back. That's why I also ask: is it a depth issue in not having actual center backs on why he ran it with that?
Nah, I think Edson was always going to be an option there, and I think Israel Reyes is also an option. Are they my favorite options? They're not, but I think I think that's the good thing about those players who they play multiple positions and you can put them there. I mean, people were talking about Romo at center back, and I don't want to see that shit either. But I guess in a fucking pinch, you can do it. But I don't know, man. To put a fucking bow on this, defensively, Mexico played great. Some of the best defensive work we've seen. Pero offensively, no enseñaron ni madres. And I'm worried because if we do that against Korea, ya ni me quiero imaginar contra England, contra whoever else, whoever's all these fucking elite clubs in the World Cup. I tengo miedo, bro. That's it.
Did you not see England not able to score today?
Like Jaime said, bro, that was the voodoo. We had to call some brujas.
India Masónicos.
No way. We need to, honestly, and I was thinking about this the other day, right? After that first witch doctor or shaman appeared at the Ghana game, we need to find those TikTok witches. That's who we need to find. And if y'all remember, you know what TikTok witches I'm talking about. So let's
Oye, wait,
find
como
them.
dijiste, let's play in el Acron.
Look, dog, this is what we gotta do. We gotta give them the water that they give MLS clubs in every final that they have in per CONCACAF. Because they
That
always have
distilled water.
they always have chorro, bro. They have that chorro excuse after every game. Just fucking give them that water, bro.
Fuck, bro, I forgot about that. That's right. Every fucking champions están de que no nos dio chorro, que quién sabe qué. And that's even after they bring their own private chefs.
That's what I'm saying. It's the water, bro. Just give them that water.
Yeah.
Sounds like that Jordan pizza excuse.
Don't let ¿cómo se llama? Howland. Don't let him into Mexico. He's not gonna be happy because he's been cooking his own food and brought in a chef from Norway and all that shit. It's pretty crazy. Got it?
Yo, did you guys talk about the performance that he put in yesterday?
Yeah, dude.
Impressive.
Fucking cheat code. Human cheat code. And he's the only reason I rate Norway going at least to like round of 16.
Wait, hasta cuando la caga, mete un puto gol.
Mm-hmm.
Because if y'all remember, that fucking shot hits the post,
It does.
bounces back to his teammate passes it back, puto golazo de Holland.
It's crazy how he like had his head down because he knew he fucked up, and then very quickly he recomposes himself and then puts it away. So it happened in.
He fell to his fucking knees, saw it, and scrambled the fuck back up.
So that's the team that supposedly they're gonna run with tomorrow. It looks like it's no Ochoa. It's I mean, they've been pretty accurate this whole tournament, so I want to see what your opinion with that.
Oh, you put it in the. Let's see. Rangel,
Gracias, caballero.
Jorge Sanchez, Israel Reyes, Cesar Montes, Mateo Chavez, Edson Alvarez, either Romo or Vargas, Gil Mora, Quiñones, Memote or Santi, and Piojo Alvarado. Posible.
Fuck, bro. I don't want to sound like Jaime here and be dick riding all of the Chihermanos, but Hormiga needs some time, way. Hormiga needs time in the sun. If not, entonces ¿para qué chingas se lo llevaste? Se lo hubieras dejado a Chivas para la liguilla. No mames.
Look, he already had 21 minutes, man. The clock is running, bro.
Come on, bro.
I'm waiting till he gets to 111 or whatever the fuck.
For me, in terms of form, Quiñones is our best striker. Raul is like barely like number 2, and then after that, it was Hormiga. But now it's like it doesn't fucking matter, dude, because they've been. They took him out. They took him out of the Liguilla, so he went into the training camp like with no momentum. And Memote, he's
come
tall.
on, dude. No momentum. He's coming.
He didn't score in his last 5.
He just lost. Yeah, he lost his momentum.
That's what I'm
Not because
saying.
he went to
He's coming
camp,
in.
because he
went
started
into
sucking.
camp. He came into camp with a limp dick, bro. Is what I'm trying to say, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant because he went to camp, he lost it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Either way, it'll be interesting to see what we get tomorrow. We're at the 2, almost 3 hour mark, so I'll give everyone other opportunity for closing thoughts. And Chris, definitely recommend you coming back on a future episode. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you guys.
Pues bueno, caballeros, I guess I will go first. My closing thought about all this, it's what I've said before. Mexico, the vibes, the way this World Cup is shaping up, all of it is very, very fucking quickly becoming my favorite World Cup. Besides the fact of my son and I doing the Panini book and all of these things, just there's this, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. There's this thing that resonates deep within me when I see what is happening in Mexico. When I see el desmadre, el ambiente, la pachanga, la pinche vibra de amor y paz que está pasando por México. Mientras que tenemos todo esto. Eso no significa que no hay putazos, pero significa que las pinches vibras están con madre. Y eso, güey, eso es lo que me encanta de este puto mundial. Y eso es lo que me está dando ese sentimiento de, ¿sabes qué? Estoy listo para que me lastimes otra vez. te voy a creer y te voy a alentar y voy a hacer todo esto. ¿Para qué? Para que tengamos un buen resultado. ¿Y sabes qué? No me importa si eres una pinche sucia, cochina y al fin del día sacas las garras para ganar. Eso es lo que quiero. Entonces, diciendo eso, this is the good one, guys. Imaginémonos cosas chingonas, porque ¿saben qué? México gana mañana, México gana en el próximo round y hasta eso, güey. México gana el sexto partido. Y con eso les digo, hasta mañana.
Awesome. Thank you, Rifal, Abdias, for joining us.
No mames, güey. No me llames puto.
My bad, bro.
Let's see here. My closing thoughts, man. I just fuck. I don't even know, bro. I guess I'll go back to Old Faithful, man. I think Memo deserves his last hurrah. He needs his flowers. Um, it's not too much. I don't think it's going to be a very long time before we see somebody with the career that Memo has. I mean, he debuted at 18. It's been like 22 years. He spent over half his career in Europe, just fighting it out. Like, yo, hey, got to tip our hat out to him. But I hope it's a good game, man. This one doesn't really matter, and I'm hoping to see some new fresh blood. Definitely gonna hope to see Santi do well. If Omega plays, him do well. Other fringe players or bench players, and hopefully, somebody comes out, and then next thing we know, they played so well that they're a starter. Maybe another little surprise. Maybe add some more dynamic players and into the 11. But that's it, bro. Have a good night.
Awesome, awesome. Who's next?
I'll finish. I think this Mexico's going to be defined by this scrappy style, and I think it's just the way that a lot of the teams play now. Uh, as I said earlier, Mexico was playing, being more aggressive, attacking, and they were losing out in the region, kept losing to the U.S. Even Canada was taking their lunch. And Aguirre came in and he won the Gold Cup and the League's Cup. So he found whatever works with what he has, and it's brought results. So I'm gonna put the results over the style, man, because let's not forget last World Cup Mexico didn't make it out of the group stage. Now they're not only are they guaranteed first now, they could have a third win, which would be massive for Mexico and their overall World Cup record. I think Mexico's the team with the most defeats in the World Cup. Part of it's because they one of the teams that goes the most. All the other teams that go most are all top 10 and World Cup champions. But I mean, we need to start getting more results in our favor. And yeah, I think this makes it's in line to do history because if they get that third win against Czechia, that is, I'm not saying they're going to be easy, but I feel that the way that everything has shaped up, uh, the match plays in Mexico's favor. The cards are in Mexico's favor, so that's improves the odds for a win. And then the next opponent at Azteca, it's an accessible opponent because we should be getting one of the third teams, third place qualifiers, and that could be a fourth. That'll be record fourth win for Mexico. Mexico's never had 4 wins. They've only had 3 wins once, 1986, and after that, the most we get is like 2 wins every other World Cup. So 4 wins would be massive at that point, and then will be the big match against one of the top opponents, and we'll see how all this will eventually play out once we get there. So let's see what happens.
Awesome. Thank you, Joel, for joining us. And thank you, everyone, for their participation on tonight's preview to the the Mexico Czechia game. Sorry, man. I've been watching like almost every World Cup game, and my wife's like, another one? I'm like, damn right, another one. And I'm kind of getting sad because now that the group stage is coming to its conclusion, that means we're not going to have the frequency that we're used to, the cadence of waking up and there's World Cup on and then going to bed at night with World Cup games. It's going to be less and less, especially because these group stage matches, the third one, they're all going to be taking place at the same time. So we're not going to be able to stack games the way we used to. You're going to have two screens open. My closing thoughts. We have a historic day upon us with Katia Garcia. She's going to be refereeing the match between Tunisia and the Netherlands on Thursday. So that's a big one, a big victory for her. And excited for that. I was looking at countries that have over 15 appearances in the World Cup. And Uruguay is there. Belgium is there. France has 17. England has 17. Spain has 17. Mexico has 18. Italy has 18. Argentina has 19. Germany has 21. And Brazil, I believe, is the only country that has attended every single World Cup. Out of these small lists, Mexico and Belgium are the only ones that have failed to ever win the World Cup. So we're in rare air, but for the wrong reasons. And, I think with anything, whether it's sales or life, it's a numbers game. And I think eventually Mexico will win a World Cup in my lifetime. Is this the one? It's still too early to call it, but there's certain things that happen during a World Cup run that are magical, that give you that luck and give you that confidence. And I have a feeling that we're in store for a big game tomorrow. So stay tuned. We will be here post-game to get everyone's reaction on Twitter Spaces. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.